You can still hear it.
The vibrate. Welcome everyone to our next episode of Count the Bucket. As you can see, we have grown by one more yet again on this wonderful episode. Now I am dealing with some lag. I'm sorry guys. Hopefully it's not volume. If it's a lag as far as just video, we can get past that. That's no big deal. My face ain't that pretty to look at other than this beard anyway, so we can get through that. So, as you know, me and Nick, CJ as well, but this is CJ's boy, so I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to CJ, let you introduce him, and hopefully he gives us some great stories of you when you was a kid. I mean, I want to hear something embarrassing at least once on this show, but go ahead and take over on this.
Yeah, Count the Bucket fam. This is my childhood friend. We went to high school together, Cardinal Hayes. Shout out to Cardinal Hayes. Daquan Williams. He was also on the hard count as well. If count CTB USN, if you follow us, first, make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. And then also, yeah, he's been on the hard count a little bit with us, talking some gambling, some bets. So definitely look forward to seeing him for the NFL season. And maybe if we dive into that world and count the bucket for some NBA, you can definitely tap in with us as well. So bro, appreciate you stopping by, man. It's a pleasure.
Pleasure, definitely. Thank you for having me on here. I definitely do have a couple stories. Just depends on the context of what we're talking about, but ready to dive into everything or whatever. I know CJ actually showed me a list of what we're gonna be talking about, but everything looked great, so ready to dive into that.
Let's get it. Michael, Nick, how you guys doing, man? How's your week?
Not too bad, man. Always a pleasure to be back. As always, I'm just ready to talk basketball, man. The NBA seems like it's been dry, though, man. Like, it's crazy, but luckily we got some news with the Christmas games and everything else, so.
I'm kind of with you on that with the NBA. Like, I felt like the draft, the summer leagues, like everything just in free agency was just like impact or packed full, and then it was just boom, boom, boom. Everything was nonstop. We even had Seth Greenberg come on and was just talking about how fast everything was going. He was in LA or Vegas in the games, flying to New York for even the basketball tournament he was at. Now I feel like we're just like sitting back waiting for something to happen. And of course, we know some of the names that we're waiting for all the dominoes to affect to go on, but like, come on, man! Like we're second week in August. I'm ready for something, but got done playing some basketball before I got here, so I'm feeling kind of good. My legs are shot. My mind still got it. My body says, hold up now. You can't do that anymore. But, this is 2 weeks in a row on Sundays I've been playing, so I'm starting to feel a little bit better about it. So let's go.
All right, so I want to ask y'all a question real quick since we're on the topic of hooping. What are y'all thoughts?
Kind of the show, but
Well,
right.
Definitely. But I mean, just personal hooping. Like, what is y'all's thoughts on double rims?
There's no such thing as double rims. So, I mean, that's garbage.
Is a such thing.
What is going on up in here?
Yeah, there's definitely such thing as double rims. Out here in the city in New York, I mean, it's a bunch of double rims, man. It's definitely a struggle for sure, but
see,
but you just get used to it, and in a way, it just ends up making it make you better. So
that's the thing, because I recently just went this Thursday to go hoop at this park, and then they had double rims, and I couldn't make a shot for nothing at first. So it had been my first time playing on double rims of probably about over like a year, 2 years or whatever. So the struggle is definitely real. I just remember being a kid, just struggling with that too, like just thinking like, dang, bro, is my jump shot off or whatever? But it's a struggle, definitely.
You said that's why New York always driving to the cup.
Oh, it looks like I almost have a camera here.
That's a fact. That's a fact, Corey. Yo, did you guys get a chance to see point guards? New York.
I haven't, man. I'm probably gonna tab it to that later tonight after the show. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, they definitely joke about New Yorkers not having a jump shot. All they do is drive to the basket. So what Corey said is facts.
And dribble,
of course. Yeah, that's an essential. Had a park in LA growing up. Then they had triple rims.
Wow, I ain't never heard of triple rims. That's crazy.
That sounds crazy.
That's the inflation in LA. It's just no matter what. But listen, I've had double rims before. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to play on them. Like, they're awful.
I heard that before. I've heard triple rims in LA before. That's not a first. I've heard that before.
Good.
Like, yeah, it's usually because That's what that zone get, bro. Whatever they build is what they build, and that's it. You know, most parks got if you got that single rim though, bro. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, it's buckets.
It might be
all
hard.
day.
It might be hard to get a game on. Like it might be hard to get on the court that day, bro. Like
That's a fact. That is a fact.
One of our courts here where I live, like, there's not even a square. Like, how do you all feel on those outside courts that don't even have a square on the backboard? Like, you're just kind of hitting that something.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, we
It's
just
all good,
that's
man.
like
Show.
that's every court over here, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
You better get your jump shot right. That's a fact.
Yep.
You just gotta visualize the square being there when you lay it up. Like you just gotta understand, like, all right, this is gonna coming off the
Bro,
back.
I didn't play with no backboard, no net.
I'll be right back, guys. I think one of my children just fell off of something and got hurt. I don't know if y'all heard that bang or not, but I will be right back.
All right, bro, go ahead. But nah, I mean, like, just speaking of that, I mean, I'd have been on double rims. I'd have had no net. I'd have had no backboard. There was a one time where like we had like a bad storm and the rim ended up like, you know, falling to the ground, and then like, you know, the whole rim was like oval shaped and whatnot. So like I'd have hooped under like a lot of circumstances.
Yeah, they just the courts right by me. They just renovated it and fixed it, which is good because you want to have the kids outside hooping. You don't want to have these kids inside.
That's a fact.
All day on their phones. Bad enough they're on their phones all the time anyway. So it was definitely a sight to see for, you know, my neighborhood to definitely use the money that, you know, that they get on a regular basis, using it for something good. So yeah, it was definitely cool. See, Corey, you hear about that? Yeah. I just
talking about that.
Yeah, it was good, man. Nice, calm 90-minute documentary. Definitely something to look out for. Marbury spoke about it on the Rusilla podcast. Oh, yeah, he was on the Rusilla podcast. Okay, yeah, Marbury's a legend, man.
I'm gonna have to tap into that.
Yeah, Marbury's a legend. He's a New York legend. Easily one of the most successful basketball players to come out of New York. You know,
just gonna throw this out. He follows me on Twitter. So
does he?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I tried to get a follow too, but it didn't work out.
How did that happen?
He put something up, and this has probably been, I would say, 6 years ago. I don't know what is going on with my camera in this area here, but you know, it is what it is. He put something out, honestly, just be straightforward. It was something Christian based on that, and I was like, oh well, this is awesome. Definitely get my follow for this. And he followed me back. I was like, okay, sounds great.
Hey, that's what's up.
Yep, been messaging him ever since come on the show. Since then, of course, like I said, 7 years ago, and there's never been a response. But you know, that's all right. He follows me.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters, man.
Listen, I know I probably missed some of the conversation because apparently, okay, I'm going to tell you what happened. We have a baby gate that blocks the stairs, so our dog can't come upstairs, and my son decides to climb over it every time, and I fussed at him twice a day. Well, this time it fell with him. He got hurt. So I told him I have no remorse for him. Like, you didn't listen, you got hurt. So, sorry I missed what you guys were talking about. How hard is it, though, to shoot the side shot outside? Like, I can't stand, like, if you don't have the backboard that kind of judge with it, like if you're shooting the corner, the Robert Ory shot, are you all money on that? Because I am, like, airballing it like 4 out of 5 shots.
As long as the wind ain't crazy, I should be good.
Yeah, you got to be locked in. Because, yeah, it's definitely an angle. Yeah, it's a tough angle to hit that shot.
Yeah, perfect angle. Like,
yeah.
Urban angle.
Honestly, now I think about it, I don't think I ever really had any issues like from the side.
Of course you didn't, Nick.
I mean, I'm just trying to think back in my hoop days.
All right, where's your go-to spot? If you're shooting a 3, where's your go-to spot?
Right wing. I'm a lefty, so
hey, I'm with you.
It's an easy, you know.
Preferably top of the key.
He did that shot too.
Left wing for sure.
Left wing.
That's the thing. Like the wing is the shortest 3, so it's like, you know, it's an easy one.
Easy.
Ain't the corner? I thought the corner was the shortest.
Corner is the shortest.
Yeah, corner's the shortest. Yeah.
Corner's the shortest?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I thought you took notes, man. Come on.
I always thought it was like the wing feels a lot shorter to me. The wing always felt shorter to me.
No. Listen, at my junior high or my middle school, as you guys probably call it, our court that we made that they just had built when I was 4th grade, they built the gym. our corner shot was a free throw. Like it was the same distance. I used to practice free throws in the corner three, just, not even jumping everything. Like it was that small of a gym. So, yeah, it's definitely in the corner that was smaller. Now, obviously, it's not 15 foot in most gyms. It was just ours, so I knew that. I want to hear some more stories. Before we even get into the NBA, I want to hear playing careers. Like, what was our go-to move, like a dribble move? I always like to do the hesitation because I ran point guard, ball in my right hand. I'm going to hesitate left and just come back to the right, not even do anything fancy, burn them every time.
Yeah, it means simple crossover, man. Start on the right and go back to the left hand. Being a lefty, it was just nobody.
What positions y'all play?
Even though like traditionally, I'd probably be like a point guard, being 6'2" in the NBA, but I was playing big man usually.
That's me too. Yeah, I was always playing big man. I hated it too because I used to want to shoot threes so bad, but my coach did not let me shoot threes. I'm like, bro, I can make shots, bro. Like literally, and it's so crazy because nowadays,
it's raining here, but it is pouring. I may lose service. That might be what's going on with my stuff right now. Like it is absolute storming. I apologize.
Oh Jesus,
no, you're good, man.
You're good.
Like connection look fine right now, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
His face looks fine too, don't it?
I'm trying to get mine like yours, bro. It's not. It ain't there yet, but
I need some beard oil, my boy.
I was gonna say, do you put anything in it, Nick? Because I take care of this baby.
I moisturize like every few days.
like a palm oil like that.
Yes,
like,
sir.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get some of that, bro.
Evan Alexander Grooming, man. Not sponsored, but check them out, man. They got some good products.
Hey, you
or if not, coconut oil always works.
See, I thought about coconut oil and trying that as well. What's funny, Nick?
Oh, another way. We're just switching topics like crazy. We just got to the beard and stuff like that. It's all good though.
I'm trying to think of the stuff that my daughter uses in her hair, and I put it in my beard because she wanted me to use it, and it did wonderful. Oh man, it's gonna bug me. I'm ADHD. I'm sorry, guys. Anyways, my position, my freshman year, I played the 5 position. By the time I graduated in high school, I was point guard. I played point guard in college 1 year as well. Granted, only reason why I played.
Yeah, you went from big to point guard.
No, actually, my whole life I was point guard, but my freshman year, the coach did not even know who I was. And he just said, "Hey, you're fat. Go play big man." And then I transferred schools and I went to point guard after that because they actually knew what I was doing. But anyways.
So what were you more? Were you more of like a passer? Like were you like a scorer? Or
do you see who my favorite player is here?
Is that Stockton? Oh, okay.
No. Jason Kidd, listen. They used to call me the doctor because I'll be setting up shots left and right, okay? Just telling you.
Okay, so you have that court vision then.
Yes, sir.
That's what's up.
Even today, man, make the long pass. See, I'm too fat now. When I rebound the ball, I'm just like, listen, I'll let these kids go long. I'll just lob it over the top. Tom Brady pass, touchdown. Don't even let them dribble because they can't dribble. Just catch it, lay it in. We'll be back on defense.
So you like Jokic, Michael Jokic.
Basically now.
That's funny.
Basically now. But where I live, you guys, we've talked a little bit. I live in Southeast Kentucky where it's poverty. Okay, just throwing that out there. We talked about jokingly, like, if LeBron James was born and grew up here, he would have probably been a big man. You were talking about CJ 6'2", you'd have been a point guard, but you play big. Like, that is totally us. Like, it almost, I'd say, hinders some of our players. Back when I was young, at least, star players like that would have never had a chance to be guards or anything like that. Like, you just go down low because you're tall. That's all we could have done. I mean, there's no one around here 6'5", 6'8" that's going to be handling the ball. Do you think that hurts basketball now?
Yeah.
I mean, it's bad. It's just bad coaching. Looking back, it's really bad coaching, man. Those guys.
But with their teams, like, it would have been having like a 6-footer at center, if not, So it kind of had to be what it was.
Yeah. Yes, and also, like, again, depending on regions and things like that, like there always aren't going to be 6'8", 6'9" guys.
Right.
They're just depending on where you're at. So But yeah,
That sounds like
definitely.
Corey right there.
You get
I'll let
the
you
right.
bring in Corey's comment there.
Oh yeah, let's see. Let's see what Corey says. It's an NBA thing, nothing else.
It was the
What you
last
talking
one. I'm
about?
sorry, I didn't know. The face up jab right jumper. Like he's not even putting the ball down. You can tell Corey's a shooter, even in the talks of when he's in Australia.
Corey, I'm blocking you up, bro.
Ball.
Nah, it's playing. It's playing.
How tall are you,
Corey,
Corey? Aren't you 6'8"?
Corey versus Nick 101. I paid to see
There we
that,
go.
man.
Oh, if he's 6'8", nah. He got that one. He got
I think
that one.
he's 6'8" or 6'9", and he's pulling the threes like crazy.
I'm fouling him. I'm not even letting him dunk, bro. I'm gonna just air hug him, bro. Like once you get up.
Listen, I'm the baby in the family. I feel like I keep going dark over here, like I'm fading out more. But my brother's 6 years older than me and then 11 years older than me, so it didn't matter what happened. If my brother, who could shoot, made 2 in a row, I was the baby. He knew he was going to get hit hard no matter what. There was nothing he could do about it. Put an elbow right through the face. He ain't shooting another 3.
It's
funny because I'm the oldest and my little brother hates playing me. Like even to this day, he don't want to play me.
Well, I ain't gonna toot my own horn just in case they're watching, but I'm the best in the family. Just gonna throw that out there.
Best
What
in the
about
family,
CJ?
man.
Quan, what about you two? Tell us some stories about you guys on the courts growing up.
Now, the funny thing is, let me see. Our first freshman gym day is when I met C. So I met CJ.
Okay.
And they had like it was so old, it's mad freshmen. So like at the time, of course, like we end up being on the same team. So I just noticed like that's literally the day we clicked up, like, yeah, we homies, bro. Like lunchtime, all that. So I don't know if you remember, bro. Yo, CJ got this move, bro. He puts you in the post. Right hand. He's left-handed. He's always putting up the right hand every time, bro. CJ on the court, bro, is unguardable. I'm telling you right now. My boy in the paint, in the post, every time.
Yeah, I was all right, man. I was all right.
Nice, nice.
I stopped playing. I never really played like simulation, like official, like with the whistle, with the ref back in high school. But it'd be like
too much favoritism, bro.
Yeah, it was politics and things like that, and definitely just ended up playing
with the coaches.
Yeah, but ended up just playing more football than anything. Football is first love, obviously, and then
what position? I'm just going to ask you.
For football, yeah, I play tight end, and then I also play defensive tackle. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But basketball. I just really just taught myself. Really, I just taught myself right outside where I'm at right now, and I just taught myself how to play, and just figured it out. And then me being lefty, I always felt like I had an advantage because they're not righties and not used to playing going up against us. So I always had that advantage, and I used to just capitalize.
I want to ask you this too, Nick, because to me, being left-handed, I know that advantage. Guarding someone left-handed too, even though you're left-handed, do you feel like sometimes like you slip up? Oh wait, he's left-handed. I wasn't expecting that, even though you're left-handed. Have you ever guarded a left-handed person and still be like, oh snap, he's left-handed. I didn't realize he's going to do that, even though that's something you would do.
Oh yeah, of course. It's because again, like you said, you're still used to playing righties, so you just know what they're going to do, and their tendencies. So. So it's like the same thing, right? Like you're saying, it's like it's where righty's going up against the left.
How strong are you with your right?
Early on, I was garbage. Like I was garbage. I would really just go left. But then as I got older, I definitely started working on the right a little bit more. Starting with just start inside out. Start with the layups. It's all around the world is like the best game to really work on your game. You start from literally all around the court. And I used to play that by myself all the time. That's how I learned. And I started with the left, and then I went to the right as I progressed. 6'9", yeah.
6'9", easy jump, Nick. He
says how tall is everybody here?
I'm 6'3".
I'm 6'10".
Okay, I'm like 5'11" and 3/4.
I'm 5'11".
Yeah, I'm right there at 6 feet. So, bro, I grew up but like I ain't really get my growth spurt till like in like high school for real. But that's when I stopped playing basketball. Like I ended up playing I went to a Gauchos camp for like 4 years. I don't know if y'all know who the Gauchos are. That's like, they're in the Bronx, like one of the most famous basketball camps you probably go to growing up.
Yeah.
I went there and then figured out basketball wasn't really for me. But I always loved the game though. Like for real. Like I wouldn't even know. Like I didn't really know what position I would play in basketball because it was so many intangibles that it's just like you don't know if you're a point guard. Like and then height. Height is also a thing too. So basketball was like one of those things where like I know I can play, but my body is not trying to let me do exactly what I want to do, and that wasn't the sport for me. So, but I love the game regardless. If I could play like LeBron, I wish I could.
Man, I was out here trying to be Kobe 2.0, so I understand.
Got cold, man.
You probably was running around the court doing all types of fadeaways.
Oh my God! Like I got the turn, right shoulder, left shoulder, bro. Even to this day, I still got that down pat. Like I worked on that religiously, bro. Like over like when I was a kid and everything. So
okay, if you could say one person that you try to play like other than Kobe, like I mean, y'all got anybody? Because Jason Kidd was really who I always wanted to be like, just the vision he had.
I'm gonna say.
Wade.
Okay. I'm gonna say Kevin Garnett for me.
Garnett, me, Zebo. Again, the lefty.
Zebo. That's why. Okay, now I'm understanding the topics a little bit more now. Okay.
Zach Randolph. Al Jefferson. Al Jefferson was
lefty as well.
Yeah. No, he was a lefty.
He was a righty, yeah.
He still had that standstill jumper.
Zebo lefty, yeah. Yep. Yeah, Zebo was definitely he was getting money in the post, man. That low block. It's tough to stop him. Al Jefferson too, underrated, one of the most underrated players ever.
Oh, absolutely. My buddies used to, after high school and college, my buddies used to call me Baby Zebo because we'd play like 2-on-2 games and just whatever. He's like, it doesn't matter what I do, I cannot stop you because you use your size so well. Like I used to be small, so I would jump up, and my brother, like he's 6'5" when I was playing him at like 5 foot. So I'd always be tricky with the layups, trying to do whatever. So I'll jump up and I'll shoot the ball like down here, but use my body out here to keep them shielded. And so I do that now still. And oh gosh, you need to like quit with your body here. And I'm like, I'm sorry, that's just what I do. You're not going to block me.
You got to use the physicality, man.
Absolutely. My nephew,
essential.
He's in college. He's on a scholarship for track, and like he can jump out of a gym. Like probably if he was coordinated, he could have dunked the ball any way he wanted to. But played with him last Sunday, and I would just basically move him out of my way. Like I'd go up my arms and just move his arms out of the way, then shoot it. He's like, "Had I not blocked that?" I said, "Man, I don't know. Just use some brains."
It's the IQ, the positioning.
Sure.
It's key. See Jimmy right here.
Footwork, for sure.
Idolize everyone on the '96 Bulls team. Yeah,
you try to be like Kukoc or Ron Harper.
Lakers in 6. I like it.
Lakers in 6. Christian, what's up, brother?
Is that 6 games that they play full strength? Or I mean,
let's hope not. Let's hope it's way more than that.
I'm still like, I feel like there should be an over-under on 60% of games for Anthony Davis, but we'll get there.
Davis.
All right, we want to go ahead and get into these topics.
Yeah, I mean, we're 25 minutes in. I guess we might need to talk about something.
Let's tap in. Yeah, so first topic of the day.
Well, hold on. Sorry. Yeah. Corey said he played against the Gauchos AAU.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Bubble.
Yeah, man.
My
Gauchos been around for decades.
That was like 2004 to 2007.
yeah, small age.
That's the year I graduated high school. Is 2004. I'm old. Don't laugh, CJ.
I'm not. Corey's at Riverside Church. Yes, sir. For them at the For them in the Rumble in the Bronx. Yeah, shout out BX, man.
That's where I live at. Yes, sir.
Shout out BX. I say let's tap into these topics. First thing number one topic of the show is the news that came out early in the week, really like the day after we recorded our show with Corbin. Shout out Corbin again. That was a great show. If you're watching, brother, thanks again for your time, man. We had a great time on the pod last week. But KD, Shams reported KD had a meeting with Joe Tsai, Brooklyn Nets owner, and pretty much gave them an ultimatum. It was either me or Sean Marks and Steve Nash. And then hours after that, Joe Tsai came out and said he has the staff has his full support. So it seems to be he's already chosen what side of the court he's on in regards to this KD versus front office dilemma. So I'll start with the guest, start with Quan, man. What's your thoughts on this with KD? Obviously, we know KD asked for a trade June 30th at the start of free agency, and everything there's a grace period where things started to stall. Wasn't really a lot of talk between teams, but now after this meeting, it looks like a trade is imminent. So how do you see this playing out?
I looked at it as like a chessboard. Like you see how no pieces were like moved at all for like a month or so. KD was like, you know what? All right, we need to get this going. We need to get this moving. So the best thing for him to do is say what? Either me or the coach. We all know Steve Nash isn't that great of a coach. We all know that, but KD's angle was kind of, I see it's still messed up. I think he's gonna end up getting traded. Like, no, he has to get traded now because now it's just like now you putting more pressure on me. You putting more pressure on me, the GM and the coach now, and making everybody uncomfortable. Something that you expect from like Kyrie. But I think he's gonna get traded ASAP. For real. Like now you got to trade him ASAP.
So yeah, there's been some talks about Sixers, Celtics. Obviously, over the last few weeks, there's been some discussion with those two teams. What do you think is the best team for Durant as it stands today?
Celtics, Sixers, and what was the other team?
Suns, Miami. Those were the first two teams that
I think they're gone.
Destinations.
I think those guys are out of the race. I think it's going to be Boston. I'm going to say Boston. They got the most. They have the most value. I mean, unless you're the Sixers and what you trade Thabuel, this dude,
Maxey.
Yeah, Maxey and
Tobias,
and then picks and money. Or you go to Boston, you get Marcus Smart, Brown, picks and money. I'd rather Brown and dude. So for the picks, So I think Boston. Of course, who wouldn't want to see Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Embiid? That would be ridiculous.
Yeah, it would be. It definitely would.
And it's just been out that James Harden and KD have become friends again.
Yeah, they've been hanging out a lot.
They're not real friends.
Right.
They're not real like Westbrook and KD, like they weren't really friends. They were just acquaintances.
Teammates. Right.
Yeah, they were co-workers. That's what it was. Like because when you leave, for real, it's a fact.
Yeah.
If you really my man's, right? You're not gonna text me and say, yo, you know what? I'm going to Golden State. We would meet up. We would link up and be like, listen, bro, 7 years special, but it's time that, I'm gonna go to Golden State. I'm a run it with these guys, not send you a text like, hey, bro, yeah.
Did he even send him a text?
I think so. I think it was a text.
Oh, okay.
I think it was a text.
But I'd even say, they've played together since even that. So, they've had to get over that part of it, right? They can't still have beef over OKC, right?
No, but I'm just saying,
cool.
like, yeah, I think they're cordial now, but I'm just saying from the standpoint of like back then and what you just said with Russell, with Harden and KD,
friends,
it's
right.
like, yeah, it's like now they're friends again. Like,
I thought the word that they used went in the tweet with friends. I thought that was a little weird anyways, because KD don't. I mean, let's be honest. All of a sudden, like KD in the past 5 years has turned into this villain in a way. Like he's not going to have any friends. You know, like he just doesn't seem like a person that he wants to have.
I think him and Kyrie are pretty good friends. Otherwise, I don't think KD would have went to Brooklyn.
I agree because I mean they talked about how good or how close they are, but at the same time, it's Kyrie. It's kind of the same personality. I'll say in there, like they think everyone's out to get him. It's like, you know, CJ against the world or something, you know. But, you know, me personally, I'm going to say this. I would like to see KD stay in Brooklyn, and let's see what KD, Kyrie in a full year and Ben can actually do with this team, because that's a good lineup. But I also think what he's put the pressure on with the front office, the coach, I mean, something's got to change there. You can't just let your star say one or the other and not do a thing. So, the front office, the owners already came out and said they stand with the coach or with the front office, so he's got to go, right? I mean, that's the other option, unless you try to go back and meet with him and say, hey, Kevin, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do it for at least another year. Can you give us another year? If not, then you pick your team, you're gone. So, I mean, I would be pushing for that if I was the front office. I'm going to say if I think he goes, I want him to go to the Suns because Bubble Booker.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't either.
Well, the thing about it is that Brooklyn asked for Booker, and like right as they were asking for Booker, Phoenix gave him that extension.
Right. So I don't think he's going to go to Boston either, because if I'm Brooklyn, I don't want Marcus Smart back, because Marcus Smart and Ben Simmons are kind of the same no-shot guy. I'm not going to harp on Marcus Smart too much. He's not an offensive threat that I think that's going to be ball dominant.
Well, you would get JB in that trade. I mean, don't get me wrong. Still, I mean, I definitely agree with you on that, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
you better just drop facts. That's it, man. I mean, come on.
Oh my God, I'm gonna let you finish, bro.
But I mean, I'm just saying, Marcus Smart and Ben Simmons on the team. If I'm a front office, I don't want that. I seen a mock trade where it was Ben Simmons and KD went to Boston for Jaylen Brown and Tatum. I don't think Boston would do that either, because that's your guys, you know. I mean, of course, there's picks and everything else in there as well. So I'm almost to the point now, when you have a trade for Gobert that gets 5 first-round picks, you got to get quite a few more first-round picks for Kevin Durant unless you can really soup up the trades with actual players. And I don't really see that happening too much. So can they really even get rid of him?
They can. They can make it happen. It may be difficult because at the end of the day, you don't want to give up your young assets for a guy that's 34 years old, plus has a lot of plus has an injury history.
34 is not old, okay?
Well, for basketball terms, it is. In NBA terms, it is. It's up there. Okay. But my whole thoughts on this is, it's honestly an ugly situation when you think about it. I was on record saying that Steve Nash should have got fired like right after they got swept. Like I said that from the beginning because I think I don't know if I was on here or if I was on my other pod, but you know the fact of the crazy lineup rotations and everything else, like Steve Nash got to go. Like Steve Nash got to pack his stuff. Unfortunately, he ended up staying. People were saying that was a KD Kyrie signing or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like to keep Steve Nash. So now I guess we're obviously seeing that that's not the case. So at the end of the day, it looks like the front office has made their decision. You know, it looks like they're going with Steve Nash and the rest of the front office, Sean Marks as well. So I don't know when exactly KD is actually going to get traded. It seems like he wants to have a holdout kind of similar to the Ben Simmons situation last year with Philly. So it's just tough at the end of the day because personally, I don't see Boston really being the move. I just don't think Boston should necessarily make it. I don't think you should give up that young core of Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, those guys, especially since they just got to the finals. And JB really seems like a great compliment alongside Jason Tatum. I'm not saying that KD and Tatum wouldn't mesh on the floor together because I definitely feel like with Tatum's ascendance, being a great defender, being a great playmaker, with KD playing off the ball, that could definitely work. But are you really willing to give up your young core for a guy that's up there, like 34, 35 years old? I mean, we get the name, we get it, we get that it is Kevin Durant, but is that something that you're willing to trade for? So if it's not Boston, I'll be honest, like I don't know if this will happen, but this is a team that we didn't bring up. I would love to see Toronto go for KD.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously they will probably have to get rid of guys like Scotty Barnes, Gary Trent, and probably a few picks. But if they can pair like Van Vliet, Pascal, and the rest of those guys, or OG alongside Kevin Durant, I feel like that team could probably compete out in the East.
What about you, CJ? Let's hear your take.
Yeah,
going back to Oklahoma.
That'd be hilarious. Definitely not. They're definitely in a whole different direction over there in OKC. It's a tough dilemma because he wants out, and it looks like the trade is on the way, but the Nets asking price still seems to be out of this world. I mean, I'm sure you guys saw the report where the Nets wanted Tatum and Brown.
Mm-hmm.
That was a rumored deal, and those discussions that those two teams had. So the Nets are going to have to budge a little bit. They're going to have to give up. One or a couple of the players that they're asking for in order to make this deal work. Do I see KD, holding out until the deal is done? I mean, it's looking like that's a possibility based on the meeting that they just had. He doesn't want to play with Steve Nash as his head coach or Sean Marks as his GM. So that looks like something that's going to be likely there. I'm right there with Nick. Not a fan of Steve Nash in terms of scheme. I don't know him personally or anything like that, but when we're just talking basketball, again, that 7 seconds or less, 5-out offense, there's just a limit on that style. It's not exactly. It's not cutting it. We've seen it have success in the regular season, but in the postseason, it's very limited. So, as great as Kyrie and KD are, and as great as they could get their own shot one-on-one, it needs to be more of a team scheme in order to win a championship. Both of those guys know that because both of those guys are champions. So I just think that pairing with those two guys and Steve Nash, calling the plays, just wasn't going to work. And it looks like Joe Tsai is going to stick with Nash and stick with Sean Marks. I mean, Sean Marks did a lot of really good things for the Nets in terms of getting them out of some bad deals. They brought in D'Lo, and they picked up some bad contracts. They picked up that Mozgov contract. It ended up being off the books the following year. They were able to get some solid picks, and they were able to be enticing enough to bring in KD and Kyrie at the time back in 2019. So Joe Tsai's looking at it like, I'm not just going to get rid of a really good GM for KD. Some people would
who came here,
right, for the guy that played a part and bringing him to Brooklyn. So it's a tricky dilemma. It's sad. Look at these 3 years. It was KD out with the Achilles recovering after tearing his Achilles in the finals. Then second round exit, first round exit, sweep in that first round exit. So I mean, it's a real nasty 3-year plan for KD and Kyrie. And it's just, again, when we talk about their story in the NBA, it's definitely a big story because I feel like both of these guys want to be able to win a championship outside of the teams that they won it with. That's obviously for a player as a competitor, maybe they don't feel this way, but I feel like they teamed up for that to be like, look, we could do this together without Golden State, without LeBron. And now 3 years later, they have 0 championships to show for it, not even the Eastern Conference Finals appearance to show for it. So it's it's a difficult dilemma over there in Brooklyn. And we talked about it. We said like, they should just stay. They got Ben Simmons. They brought in Royce O'Neal, who's a solid 3-and-D wing. Nick Claxton is a young rim running 5. There were some options there. And again, I think we all agree that Steve Nash is definitely not the guy, a championship head coach. I would get rid of Nash. And then go back and talk to KD like, okay, say if we bring in a Mark Jackson or somebody that they're familiar with, somebody that they respect and they want to play for, and try to win it. Because I just don't see how Nash being that guy schematically is going to help them get to that Larry O.B.
Personally, I think Nash gets a little more hatred toward. I won't say hate. That sounds bad. A little slack. I'll say like that. Than probably deserving because, like even you said, in the 3 years, and of course this is the first year, even now, Kyrie didn't play the whole year. You traded away fat James Harden. You get Ben Simmons, who didn't even play. So I mean, and I'm
really
not
have to say
trying.
fat.
I mean, I get to. I can. When you are fat, you can say it. It's fine. But I'm not saying that Nash is a good coach. I'm just saying I feel like he's almost like the target everyone's pointing at, because I even think KD didn't play as great of a season as he could have this year. Like, I felt like he declined quite a bit. Well, I won't say quite a bit. Declined this year. Not
in
saying that
the postseason, yeah,
absolutely,
but in the regular season, he was before he hurt his MCL, he was playing some of his best basketball.
CJ, I've got 3 kids. I've got a short-term memory. All I remember is playoffs. Okay,
granted.
And he sucked then. Okay,
that's a fact.
But Ben Simmons still hasn't played. Like we thought when he was coming to Brooklyn, he would play. Didn't even play the whole season. You got Kyrie, who still didn't play half the games. So I mean, this team has never really been meshed together to actually have an identity. I don't think. Now I want to go into this though. Okay, Nash is gone. You mentioned Mark Jackson. Who else are even people out there that you could think of that could handle this kind of caliber roster? Because, I mean, it takes a strong character to
you need a therapist, coach / therapist /
well, let me ask you this, though. Like,
mentor.
Did y'all think that Brooklyn should have got rid of Kenny Atkinson?
Yeah, I mean, Kenny Atkinson was cool. It was cool to me. He
wasn't a bad coach.
He was a solid coach on an average team.
Yeah,
I didn't see, but he didn't get that opportunity to have a lot of talent and be a head coach. They got to the playoffs with D'Lo, with some of those other guys that they had back in 2020 during the bubble year. But if KD and Kyrie really wanted them to stay, they would have kept them, right? So right. I just think that they probably didn't see him as an option. I think they wanted that Steve Kerr, magic. Steve Kerr come right in and win a championship. Ty Lue comes right in and win a championship. That's rare. They're like the rarities of Phil Jackson come right in and win a championship. Those are rare situations where coaches come in to a team and automatically become a champion. This is something that's not that doesn't happen often. So KD, to me, what it looks like is they don't have a real leader. KD's he's a guy that just leads by example. He's not a
KD just want to hoop, dog. Yeah, that's all he want to do.
Yeah, he just want to play basketball and he just want to play basketball. Like but it's more than that. You guys know, we just had like a whole 25-minute segment about hooping. Like, it takes more than just hooping just to win. So that's why when he went to Golden State, there was more than just him. He could just hoop, because you got Curry being the leader, you got Draymond being the vocal guy, you got Clay being the 3-and-D guy and guarding other people. There were different aspects to that for them to win. And then KD, who's a hooper and just wants to, get buckets and win championships along the way. Kyrie, same thing. You had LeBron taking all the pressure of the Jordan comparisons that he put on himself, granted, and everything, the media going back to Cleveland. Can he win one after Miami? This and that, and all those narratives. And then just LeBron within itself getting all the criticism and love on both sides. So now it's just them. It's just those two guys now. So now they have to embrace all of that talk, all of that narrative. Then you got Ben Simmons through the fold, who probably had the worst postseason of a young player last year and got criticized the most. Oh yeah, and then he didn't even play the whole year. So now you bring him to the fold. It's a tough dynamic. So I don't know what coach could save that roster. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. You just have to.
They gotta go get Greg Popovich. I mean,
just bring it from. Can't save. You can't. Why would he add more stress to his life, man?
Yeah, I'm just saying, but
I can't even think of any coaches.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this team, even talking about Golden State, and I feel like we might have been on this topic way too long already, but Golden State, they knew their roles and they accepted them and they were fine with them. The Nets, you don't know anyone's role except for Kyrie's a baller and KD's a baller. Blake's old. Everyone else is old. Everyone else is just trying to play. I mean, there's no identity to this team. So,
at all.
And me, I feel like KD, who played with the Golden State Warriors, would have absorbed some of that and brought it with him. Be like, hey, listen, I need you to do this. I understand you're a rebounder or a rim protector. I want you to watch Draymond Green, how he is a vocal leader on defense. I want you, to do this here. Hey, you're a knockdown three guy. Like, I'm not saying you need to be Clay-esque, but listen, that's your job. You better knock it down because that's what I expect of you. That's why I came here to make a championship team.
Well, that's the difference, though, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have people of that personnel. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've never seen Ben really be that vocal like a guy like Draymond Green. So it's like, you can't expect him to try to change into it now. Not saying that Ben is not a great leader, not saying Ben is not a great floor general, but that's not really his cup of tea, with him, with him being how it is. And like, what guys do you expect to be like another Clay? Like, would you expect Joe Harris to be like another Klay Thompson? Like, I wouldn't see that, or a Seth Curry or whatever. So it's like, There's not a lot of guys with that personnel on that team. Like, I already said it last year, like, going into the playoffs, that Brooklyn wasn't even that good of a team. So it didn't even surprise me that they got bounced in the first round.
I wasn't surprised that they got bounced in the first round. I was just surprised they got swept in the first round.
That is the thing that I am surprised about.
Yeah, that's what surprised me for sure, because as great as those guys are, I thought they could at least get 2 games at least.
Every game was close.
Every game it was close. There was some close games.
Yeah. I think it was game 2 where they were up like double digits and then they blew the lead or something like that. I think it was game 2.
Yeah, yep. Other than Mark Jackson, who's out there. Plus, Mark Jackson hasn't coached in a decade? Yeah, it's been a decade.
Well, the thing about it is that, like, when you think about Mark Jackson and when he came in, like he came in 2011, and you got to remember that was a young Warriors team. That was young Steph. Clay was a rookie at the time. They still had guys like Monte Ellis. So it's a difference, though, having that young team and then, of course, helping them elevate. Whereas, you're coming to a Brooklyn team that already has established superstars and, like, their expectations are championship or bust. So it's kind of a different story, though, when you think about that. So that's why, in my opinion, Mark Jackson wouldn't be the right guy for that situation.
Do you guys think that Mark Jackson's being blackballed out of the
He is. He definitely is.
He has to be.
And apparently it's all for, like, religious reasons, too, because apparently, like, he was having, like, church services and stuff like that with the team, and I guess – I don't know if the NBA didn't like it or the front office didn't like it, but
yeah,
that was the reason.
Yeah, definitely he's definitely been, because he should have been an NBA coach at least by now. I'm pretty sure that ABC money is good, but
yeah, that's what I was going to say. Almost to the point though, like, why would you go back when you're getting paid to criticize everyone else? Like. There's come to a point, I think, where, hey, I can coach so good, but I'm not getting any opportunities here. I'm just going to stay here now. I'm not. If the money ain't right, I'll just stay with ABC.
What do y'all think about Stan Van Gundy?
I just said one of the Gundys, but I said it jokingly.
Oh, really?
But I don't want ever. The Gundys should never coach again.
No, it's not going to work. Not with those personalities.
ain't no coach going to work, man.
It's gonna. Honestly, Darvin Ham was like I didn't see it coming, and then I heard the press conference. Like, all right, man, I think this guy has the type of personality that can.
I like Darvin Ham a lot.
Yeah, he can be able to handle Westbrook, AD, and LeBron. So they need a guy like that. Who is that? I said, Mark has that personality. But yeah,
let Rasheed Wallace be the next coach.
Well, he turned down their assistant job with the Lakers.
Yeah. He's gonna lead the league in text as a coach.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's gonna be funny. That's gonna be funny.
Head coach.
Oh no. I'm good. Well, I don't know. That he might surprisingly be a good coach. He might surprisingly be a good coach.
I bet you that he would actually X's and O's, like as far as like defensive minded anyways, like, hey, they're going to be doing this, expect this. This guy does this move every time.
Oh yeah, Robin's IQ is crazy, but I'm just saying, we know it's more the coaching than just X's and O's.
Right.
It's all about dealing with different personalities and everything.
Yeah. Cheerleader.
You got to be exactly, cheerleader / therapist, teacher. It's a lot of roles in being a coach, man. That's why these guys go get when they get the job, then they put up the jersey and they're smiling, and then like 5 years later they got gray hairs. Like it's stressful as hell. Like It's a difficult job.
But Drake is sending them 0-82. I'm sorry,
Drake have a shot at it. I'm crying. Sam Cassell's
not bad. I'm trying
that's
to
a guy
think
that
of some
I
other
don't
guys.
understand how he hasn't even. Yeah, he's been on some really good teams as an assistant coach over the last decade. I don't know why he hasn't got an opportunity. I think he's a champion as a player, two-time champion as a player. Like,
I want to say this one, and I just want to say it so you all can say no right away, and I'll be happy. What about Calipari?
personalities again.
He leaving Kentucky?
No,
I mean,
no.
would you leave Kentucky to go coach the Nets, who has a chance to win a championship right away? Because
Personally,
he
no.
is a player first, and I think he could build them up. Now, I agree. I would personally live from Kentucky, but
You know college.
Yeah.
You know college.
I'm sure he's
athletics-
getting the bag too.
Of course, he's getting the bag.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
College athletics, and you know this, Michael, more than anybody. They have a lot of control as a coach. The coach has so much control
yeah.
over everything.
Why do you think
So-
Saban's selling Alabama?
Exactly. And when you go into to the NBA, you don't have the players have the control.
right.
So that shift.
That was an argument on Twitter the other day too about how if that's a bad thing about the players having so much control. Do you think that's a bad thing?
Mm-mm.
To an extent, it can be to an extent.
Yeah, I think so, at least a little bit, honestly. Personally, I just think it's weird that a coach, like we're even saying, like the main person of the whole team that tells what's going on isn't really in control of the team ever. You just got to make everyone think that you're in control by keeping everyone satisfied. Personally, that's why I like the college game better, because they play for the team or the school more than themselves. Like, I come back from an era where I think it's weird when I go to a junior high game now.
Sound old as hell. I come from the era where
no, listen, I miss the
You
kids
set
wearing the
yourself
same
up for these,
shoes.
bro.
I know I'm old. Listen, did you all not wear the same matching shoes with your teams, like in middle school and stuff like that? They don't even do that anymore. Like, that was teams.
I didn't do that. Now, I mean, like we were like the same colors, but it wasn't the same exact shoe.
See, the local school here. Well, my wife, she used to teach at Cumberland's, what it's called, and they're maroon, white, and black. And I'll be seeing pink shoes out there, orange highlight shoes. Basically, I'm like, where's the unity in these shoes? Like, what's happened here? Like, it's just so weird. I don't know. I'm old. I know it. And I can live with it for a little bit longer before I die.
Dang, man. Like, jeez. But more of the story is that
back in my day, did I really say that?
You did, man. That's what I'm saying. You
Oh,
setting
man.
yourself up for the old man jokes, man.
Wow.
exactly.
Did I say back?
But now,
in
like,
my day?
more of the story is I don't think that this KD Brooklyn situation is really going anywhere. I feel like it's just going to continue to just glare throughout the season. I don't think he's going to play the season at all if he's not traded by training camp or regular season.
I'm just going to say this. If something does happen and happens soon, I'm trying to pull it up. Oh, man, I was about to do a good switch, but I don't see it pulled up here. Transition. My screen just went crazy, so I'll stop clicking things. If a trade happens tomorrow, it would be like a Christmas present sitting at my door. Speaking of Christmas presents, CJ, you got anything to pull up for us?
Yeah,
That was a pretty nice alley-oop.
I was trying my best, but now my screen over
Transitions.
here, it just went white, and I'm afraid to click anything. All I see is our 4 screens, so I'm going to go with that.
Shams just dropped the Christmas Day schedule games. That's always a sight to see. Definitely everybody in the crib, chopping it up with the fam, watching some NBA games. Gonna definitely pop that up for you guys. And
Christmas tradition. Every
yes,
year.
it is.
While we waiting for it to pop, I'm going to ask you guys, do you like the Christmas uniforms with the sleeves?
No, I didn't.
Nah, the sleeves, I
personally.
wasn't a fan of those.
I wasn't a fan of them.
The best one. No, hold on. The Knicks had the orange one, right?
You had the orange, yeah.
Yeah, they had like orange or blue or something like
That
that.
was the best one. But
Nah, the
The
Miami
Heat
ones
ones-
were good too, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the Heat ones weren't that bad.
Heat ones weren't
I can't.
bad.
What's that?
No, I said you're right. The Heat ones. The Heat
Oh,
ones.
okay. I can't remember how the Lakers one looked. Can't remember.
It was
I
the
think
white
yellow, white,
the white-
purple.
Oh, it's white. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's yellow, purple, maybe some white in it.
Did Spurs have some too?
I feel like that was the colors.
Spurs?
Spurs, they were like gray, a light gray or something like that.
Yeah.
Like solid gray, and then it had the logo.
The NBA was just trying something new. I don't know what
They were just trying to sell jerseys. That was it.
Yeah, they were trying to hoop in short sleeve shirts.
Yeah, like
Crazy.
I think I remember.
God, like, how do you get your arms up?
That's what I'm saying. Like I think I remember one game where LeBron just like kind of just like gripped him, like you know what I'm saying, because he couldn't shoot.
Yeah.
Terrible idea.
Wow.
But how do y'all feel about the Heat or the Nets not even getting a Christmas game?
Well, I'm upset, of course.
I mean, well, the Nets are probably not going to have the same team by Christmas.
But the Heat, I feel like the Heat should be in the mix.
And I like the Heat, man, but they don't really have. I mean,
whoa, what?
Like Jimmy's good,
bro. Come on, bro. Like your Knicks are up there, dog. Your Knicks are up there.
It's New York. It's New York. You feel
I
me?
know that, but
it's like it's the market, and it's not like the Knicks are
the Nuggets.
Oh,
yeah, Nuggets are always in there. Nuggets are always the 10:30 game. I mean,
they really are. They really are.
You could have threw the Heat in there, but again, you know the Knicks again, and I'm not being biased because I do. I'm very objective about that squad, but I just think the big market is in New York. Christmas Day in New York, man, it's just.
They always get the early game, and
the fans are actually going to show up, bro. The Miami Heat fans are not going to be there on Christmas. Let's just keep it 1,000, bro. The Miami fans are not going to be there on Christmas Day, bro.
You're not lying on that. I agree with you there.
They're not going to be there, so I think it makes a lot of sense. But here we go. We got Shams tweeted this out a couple hours ago. We got Bucks and the Celtics. Great game. Rematch in the second round in the playoffs. Sixers at the Garden. It was both of those games in the Garden were really good last year. Went down to the wire. Then you got the Suns at the Nuggets. Hopefully a full strength Nuggets team. That's going to be a great game with MPJ and Jamal Murray being there at 10:30. Lakers Mavericks. Of course. Lakers Mavericks. LeBron versus Luka. That's what we want to see. I mean, we want to see this new Mavericks team with Christian Wood and without Jalen Brunson. We want to see how they play. And then lastly, Grizzlies and the Warriors, first round rematch of this year. That's going to be spectacular. Draymond and Ja were kind of chopping it up over the weekend, talking about it. And Ja was like, we got what we wanted. So that's going to be a great game for sure. So what's your favorite game out of this one? We'll start with Nick and we go with Michael and then Quan.
I'll probably go Grizzlies at Warriors. But the only reason why, here's my thoughts on it. Like, people consider this like a rivalry or whatever. I don't think it's a rivalry, to be honest. Like, I mean, obviously, the Grizzlies are a young team that's on the rise. The Warriors are a more established team, more established championship team. But I don't really consider it much of a rivalry. As much of a rivalry. I know that there's been talks back and forth on social media, between Ja, Draymond, and a few other guys like Dylan Brooks and stuff as well. But I don't think it's that serious, to be honest. But besides that, I think it's going to be a good game. Hopefully, everybody's healthy. I'm expecting a strong game from Curry. Obviously, Ja's probably gonna have a strong game as well. Hopefully, as a Dubs fan, it'll turn out in a win.
I'm excited about that Bucks Celtics game because we're gonna have KD.
I think they played last year on Christmas too, didn't they?
Yep, yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I just remember playoffs again. I think that'd be a good matchup, just the Celtics on Christmas with the Bucks coming in to Celtics. But I'm going to say this, as I'm kind of saying this, so I got somebody else going on. Do you all even really like the Christmas games?
Of course.
I do, yeah.
Okay, all right.
I look forward to it every year.
Okay.
The only game that no one really cares about is that 10:30 game, which is the game that the Nuggets always get. Because, at the end of the day, it's like, you get those, 3 games on ABC, and it's like you get excited.
That's a good-ass game, though. Suns at the Nuggets? With
it is, but it's like,
and Jamal Murray?
But it's like they come in, right after Lakers and Mavs, LeBron, Luka, or...
And then everybody's going to go to bed. Lakers and Mavs.
What's the call on this year? A Sunday? Oh, wow.
I think so.
Wow. That's a great day.
Falls on a Sunday? Okay. Yeah, it does. Yeah, last year was Saturday, yeah.
You got basketball and football?
And football.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that is good.
I'm going to go with the Bucks and Celtics. I think that'd just be a good game. Look, they're going to be green and probably some red in that, so it's going to be Christmas colors, and that's already their colors. So
I would hope the Bucks rock that purple. Have y'all seen they
I've seen it, yeah. That looks nice, man. That's super nostalgic.
Yeah, I hope
Ray
they rock
Allen
those. The Ray Allen joints, yes, sir.
Ray Allen joints.
Glenn Robinson, yeah. That's if they rock those, that'll definitely be official. Quan, what's your favorite games from this? I already know. I mean, it kind of speaks for itself.
It's not going to be the Lakers Mavs game. It's either going to be the Grizzlies and Warriors or the 76ers and the Knicks. Because I might be actually going to the Knicks and Sixers game.
Yeah, we might go to that game. We might go to that Sixers and Knicks game.
But I want to see that Grizzlies and Warriors game, bro. That game. I think that's gonna be the last game of the night. Yeah,
really?
It would make sense. Because that's if you really think about it, look, all right, the first 4 games, how much hype besides the Bucks and the Celtics, how much hype do the first 4 games have compared to the Grizzlies and Warriors?
Well, the Knicks and Sixers are probably going to be the early game. That's probably going to be the 10:30, 11 o'clock game. So, I mean, they're just going to get that out the way. And then they'll probably go
Bucks and Celtics at 1?
Probably,
at 1.
And then what?
Lakers going to be at 7.
Okay, so you're saying that the Suns Nuggets going to be at like what 3-4 o'clock?
And I feel like you put that Grizzlies Warriors game last. You have
it's usually 12, 3, 6, 8, and then 10. Yeah, and then 10. Yeah, that's usually how they slot that on Christmas. So I think ending the night with Grizzlies Warriors would be perfect for sure.
Mm.
That's my favorite game. That's when I like the Suns at the Nuggets, man. Again, I really do because I want to see.
This should be a good game.
This man Jokic has won 2 MVPs.
He will not win a third in a row.
Not in a row. Man, you don't know. You never know.
He can do it. They're like number 1 in the West. Yeah, he's definitely gonna win it again, no doubt.
Put money on it, a quarter right now.
Put a quarter on it.
Write it down. Write it down right now.
That's right. We need a whiteboard that we just like put stuff up there on.
Man, I like that Suns Nuggets game, man, because again, I want to see how the Suns respond during the season after that Game 7 disaster.
They should have put Suns Mavericks on Christmas, dog. That would have been nice.
That would have been nice. Yeah, that would have been nice. That would have been nice too. But then LeBron versus Luka.
I like the LeBron Luka. Yeah.
It's definitely one. Hopefully,
100%.
You talked about Anthony Davis. Hopefully, he's playing in that game, man. Not even jokingly. Like, I really hope he's healthy because
he's gonna be on Christmas break.
That's a good one. That's a good one. He's gonna.
He's gonna get hurt the day. He's gonna get hurt the game before the Christmas game.
I'm out. Man. 2 weeks. School starts back in January, guys.
Stay healthy, please, bro. Bucks Celtics. A lot of people said, "Oh, the only reason why the Celtics advanced was because Chris Middleton wasn't healthy." So
that's true.
Chris Middleton is healthy in this game. We should see another, and that went 7 games without Middleton. So that should be a good one. Sixers Knicks, that's more just like a throwback type thing. Philly versus New York type of style. Obviously, Philadelphia is light years better than New York, so that should be a good dub. But again, the Garden is Garden's home field advantage. It should be rocking, man, and we'll see. We'll see how these teams are.
Julius Randle is going to have 30
and 13. Randle will give you 30 and 13.
Yes, sir.
Not counting on it, guys.
Not counting
on it.
RJ gonna give you about 35 or so.
Please. 30 and 13 on 30
Donovan
shots.
Mitchell, he's going to go off.
I'll pass on the 30 and 13 on 30 shots any day.
Donovan Mitchell?
Yeah. That trade's already done. You didn't know?
Bro.
Mitchell will be there, guys.
No Minnesota on here? No Minnesota.
I mean, they celebrated the play-in game. I mean,
hey, y'all don't want to see Ant-Man on Christmas? Come on, y'all.
I think it would be nice, but who are you going to take away? Because we didn't even have the Heat in here, like you said.
Minnesota should have beat the Grizzlies in the playoffs.
You can get Phoenix up out of here. I ain't gonna lie. Like I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Minnesota Nuggets would have been good too, man.
Yeah, that would have been a great game.
Jokic, Gobert, Cat, Ant-Man. That would have been a good. But I like the Suns. Suns are cool.
Yeah. The Pelicans. My Pelicans should be in here.
The Pelicans ain't getting no Christmas game, dog. They ain't getting no Christmas game. Come on, y'all.
Next year. You said what happened?
Pelicans,
Did they
fourth
get one
place.
when AD was there and Boogie? No.
Nah, they got one. They got one
think
when
they did.
Zion was there.
Did they?
Yeah, they played Miami. They lost.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. That was one of the early games too.
Yeah, that was an early game. Next year, if the Pelicans play well, if Zion's healthy, they'll get one next year, and of course,
And they will.
no, I want to see.
Fourth in the West.
I want to see next year. I want to see Pelicans Mavericks. Luka.
Now that'd be good.
Luka
I
versus
kind of want
Zion.
to see Pelicans Suns.
Oh, the rematch. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Of course, it'd be a year away, so who knows? Or a Pelicans Timberwolves. Like, who's the new young team here? That'd be nice to see too.
Yeah, the West is stacked, man. The West.
It went one year where it was like the East was stacked, and it was like, no, we can't have this. It went back to the West.
Yeah, the West is just loaded, man. All right, let's get into another topic. Speaking of one of the Warriors, Draymond Green. There's been some talks about
Nicholas. What's going
future
on with
contract. Future contract.
What are you saying my full name, dog?
Nicholas. You've got some explaining to do up here.
He's expecting the max. He wants a max contract. Start with you, Nick, man. What's your thoughts on the news? Do you think he should get a max? And do you think it's going to happen? Joe Lacob's already talked about luxury tax and how that's a hassle having to pay that. And there was some rumors that they're saying Draymond always wanted to play for the Pistons. That was the story. That was the story that came around. Yeah, that came around being a Michigan native. So what's your thoughts on everything with Draymond?
So my response to Joe Lacob is, back then the luxury tax wasn't an issue before. Like, why is it an issue now? You know what I'm saying? Like, Draymond is super important to the team. We get it. He's never going to be Steph. He's never going to be Clay. We get that. But his importance to the team, like, let's just be honest. Like, the Warriors don't get 4 rings without the impact of Draymond Green on both ends of the floor. And in my opinion,
they'd
the
have
team
5 if it wasn't for him too.
Nah, I don't blame that suspension on him. I don't. He played for game 6 and 7.
Yo, bro. You know why, bro? This is why you my guy, man. You objective, bro. That's because there's so many Warriors fans that be crying like, "Oh, Draymond." Like, come on, man.
See, I feel like we're getting way off on there, but I feel like that took a lot of the breath out of the Warriors. But keep on going. We'll go with this.
I'll agree with you. Like, it definitely
went 73-9, bro. Come on now,
CJ. We're talking about Draymond. You're not on my side, so we're not.
But you got to think, Draymond dropped 32 in Game 7. He dropped 32 in Game 7. So I feel like just with all the injuries was the reason why we lost. Andrew Bogut went down. Iguodala was hurt as well. But that's another story for another day. But just thinking about the whole Draymond situation, like, in my opinion, you got to keep that big 3 together, in my opinion. Like, let them retire together, Steph, Clay, and Draymond. I get it. Draymond is always, Draymond's from Michigan, so, that might have been his lifelong dream of playing for the Pistons. But in my opinion, he needs to be a Warrior for life. And I feel like Joe Lacob needs to go ahead and just pay the luxury tax and just, just give him the extension.
Yeah,
you don't think he'll leave?
I don't think so.
You don't think? You say you don't think he deserves it?
No, I mean he does. He does.
I think he deserves it. To piggyback off what Nick said, how you gonna make the luxury tax a problem now with Draymond Green? Like, it's almost like Draymond. I mean, if you say Steph, you gotta say Steph and Clay. You gotta say Draymond. Like, between those 3 names, so it's like it should be no problem for you to give him what he wants, like, at all. You're gonna, if that's the case, then you know how Draymond gets. You know how petty he is.
Yo, what if it's 45 annual, man? Nah, I'm straight.
I feel you on that though, see, but like he went.
I'm still giving it to him personally.
He went 45. I didn't know he went.
No, I'm just that was just hypothetical. I think the numbers would probably be high 30s. Because right now he's on a 4-year, $100 million contract right now. So I think he has one. He has
25.
He'll probably be in the high 30s.
But here's the thing, though. Like, I think we spoke on it before, but like, I think a lot of us practically said that if Draymond didn't miss a lot of games on this past season, he probably would have been a Defensive Player of the Year candidate.
Absolutely.
So it's not like, he's just like, a shell of himself at this point. No, I mean, he's still playing high level basketball, if you ask me.
Right. Yeah. And how old is he? 34?
He's up there.
33?
Yeah, like, like early.
KD.
Did you say AD?
No, I said KD. I don't think he's
KD.
He's falling off. He's not worth a big contract.
How's he falling off?
Yeah, I mean, I can't ride with you there.
Because here's the thing, though, like everybody's comparing him to Steph, Clay, or whoever. Like he's not that guy. So I don't understand what y'all mean when you say falling off.
Because he can't shoot. I hate that. I hate that dynamic. Oh yeah, he can't shoot, so he doesn't mean anything to the team. What does that mean, bro? Like he does all the other great things though. He plays defense. He plays hard. He's basically the quarterback of the team, pretty much. Like
he runs the show.
He brings
for the most part
as a 4. He brings the ball up. You don't even got to worry about Steph doing all of that. Steph could just do what he got to do. Like it really completes the team. Like look how there.
So let me ask y'all this. So let's say hypothetical they don't give him the max and he does end up walking. Like who are they going to replace him with? Like who's out there on the market that they're going to replace him with?
Nobody.
And that's the thing. Like unless you're going to let a guy like Kuminga fill that role, but I don't think Kuminga's ready for that yet.
No, I haven't seen enough for me to say
right.
Ready to do that.
Maybe Jordan Poole.
No, Jordan Poole's not filling that role. That role.
Not even close.
And I love Jordan Poole.
Wiseman, maybe.
Wiseman's not ready either. Wiseman's too injury prone.
Yeah, he's not. If he turns out to be like a stud, a really good guy,
and Wiseman's actually a pretty good passer too. He's a really underrated passer.
He should. I mean, he's really the X factor of that team, man, because he would solve a lot of problems. He could be a rim protector. He could space the floor. He could pass a little bit, like what Nick just talked about. Yeah, I would give him the money. I would give him the contract because, like you guys just talked about, he's a very key part of the franchise. You can't this dynasty, this run that they've been on in the last 7 years. You have to mention Draymond Green. You have to.
Right.
Just because he doesn't score doesn't mean that he doesn't have an impact on the game. He's the best at his role than anybody else in the NBA, bar none. He's top 1%. There's no one else better at his role than him. And that's why they've won the championships. Like Quan just said, he's able to play the quarterback. He gives Steph the ability to play off the ball where Steph doesn't have to do the dribble, set the screen, shoot, do that all the time. He could be able to move off the screen, and Draymond has the IQ to get him the ball in the right spots. And then on the defensive end, he could play 1 through 5. He's one of the reasons why they have so much versatility on that side of the basketball court. So yeah, you got to give him the money. I know people don't like his personality. They don't like his podcast. That's really what.
That's where it all stems from.
Yeah, if he was like this low maintenance guy and really didn't say much, I think people may have a different type of opinion on it. But we just gotta look. We're just talking basketball, and when you watch the film. Again, another channel. I mean, Thinking Basketball is a great channel to take a look at if you want to look at the X's and O's of these guys, as opposed to just watching all this, hot take, garbage sometimes. But when you want to just look at the schemes and learn about, this player, okay, I didn't really see that watching the game live. You go back and see it and how impactful they are. That's definitely a channel to look at. He's not as good as he used to be. He said, Corey Weiss said, he's not as good as he used to be. No team is giving him a big contract.
Elaborate on that, please.
Yeah. I'm saying not as good as he used to be. I mean, they just won the championship. I mean,
the thing about it is that I know that like the first 3 or 4 games of the finals, Draymond didn't play necessarily well, but it's like, you got to look at it like, a lot of people don't really give him credit for like those game 5 and game 6 wins. Like, it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like everything gets overlooked because Steph ended up having that 40-point game in the game 4, but like we don't really look at like the impact of Draymond Green on the defensive end, putting pressure around the rim and everything, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of people just don't really give Draymond the credit because a lot of his stuff is not on the stat line or anything. So like when people see that he may have like 4 points and like 8-9 assists, like, people look at that as like a bad game, but it's like, no, like that's a Draymond Green type game.
Yeah,
So
but
let me ask
exactly.
you a
Ask
quick
him to get
question.
30-point triple doubles like hard.
Right.
That's
Like, honestly, if he's doing 12, 9, and 9, you're happy with that. Big time,
yeah,
right?
yep, 12, 9,
Absolutely
and
happy.
yeah, for sure. 12, 9, and 9 steals, definitely.
So what is the extension that we're really talking about? Is it a couple more years, 5 more years? How many more years are we talking about on this?
Like, you talking about as far as like the extension?
Yeah, it's his max contract extension. Is it?
I think it's like 3, 4, 5 years, something like that.
So
I
mean,
say 2 to 3.
I think it'll be a 4-year deal with I think around 120, probably 120 plus on that. So yeah, high 30s for Draymond in this next contract. Because like I said, he just signed the 4-year 100 mil 3 years ago. So now he has 1 year left on that deal. And then this is what I wanted to say too for the luxury tax thing. The luxury tax, it's interesting, man. For the Warriors situation, I get where Joe Lacob is coming from because he drafted those guys. He drafted Draymond, Steph, and Clay. It's not like he brought those guys in via free agency. If you're buying guys via free agency, then yeah, I could see the luxury tax being having such a burden on the team. But if you're drafting those guys, there should be some type of leeway because you know how hard it is to draft 3 cornerstone players to create a dynasty like Golden State has. So for them to be, taxed like that, I get where he's coming from. But that's something that he's the boss of Adam Silver. So that's something that those guys have to come in and talk about in this next CBA, how they figure out this that luxury tax thing. Because again, like you're drafting these guys. It's not like you're like KD. Okay, cool. You want to extend KD? Yeah, they might have to be a tax for that because you acquired him in free agency. But the big 3, there shouldn't be a crazy tax on those type of guys, man.
I'm going to say this. I'm looking at some of his stats here from 2012 to 2021, which is actually last year's season. Because I thought when I see 21 that it would be 21 and 22. But, okay, so his best year, it looks like, as far as the 3 categories, points, rebounds, and assists, which we know Draymond is so much more than just those categories. In 2015, he averaged 14 points, 9.5 rebounds, 7.4 assists. Last year, he averaged 7.5 points, 7.3 rebounds, and 7.0 assists. Yes, that's a drop in points. But Draymond's not your points guy. So, I'm not even really worried about that. Now, his minutes did drop, and he played a lot less games. We know he got hurt. He only played 28 compared to over 30 minutes. Now, I looked down here. This is what I thought was interesting. His career, which obviously is everything, he's averaged 8.7 points, 6.9 rebounds, and 5.4 assists. So, technically, over his career, he's had last year was better than his career average. So, because I was going to say that he's kind of declining because, seeing some of the shots that he shot just wasn't falling. Never seemed like everything would go for him at the right time in the playoffs, again, short-term memory. But my only thing with him is, can he keep up with the demand that he does exert as far as defense? Because, he gives everything on the defensive end. He'll be at the three-point line and bust his tail in to protect the rim. Like at 32 years old, adding on 4 to 5 more years, as CJ was saying, you were saying like 4 years, right? So we're thinking at the end of this 36 years, like my only hesitation would be like, Draymond, I know what you've done for me in the past. You deserve the money. The contract just wasn't there. I want to pay you more than what you're, I don't want to say worth because even that sounds bad, but like I don't think a max contract can happen here for the fact that, hey, you're not going to be at your max level. You're going to be declining some in the next 4 years, but you do deserve more than what you were making on years prior contract. So you definitely, as Golden State, you want to make him happy. You want to try to keep him. But I don't think that you can really do a max because everybody can't have a max. Now, am I devaluing Draymond at all on this with the Steph and Clay? No, because in other episodes, I even said I think Draymond is more worthy than Clay because Poole is right behind him. So my only thing is you've got to decide who and where you're actually going to put that franchise going forward. I would sit down and say, Draymond, you deserve it for what you've done for our franchise, but to keep our franchise going, can you take a little less? Can you help keep going on with this? Maybe talk with him instead of having Steph only be the face of Golden State. Let's work in some advertising with Draymond because Draymond's a well-known name on this team as well. He's out there social medias, commercials and stuff. He has his own podcast and stuff like that. I just don't see how you can literally pay this man everything and have Jordan Poole busting at the bips right behind Klay Thompson if he doesn't perform this year. I know I've rode Klay Thompson a lot during the playoffs saying that he's going to be traded. I want Klay to be at Golden State. I'm just really bugging Nick on this. But how can you pay Klay max, Draymond max, Steph max, and then have Jordan Poole, who's coming up, who is looking awesome. Have
Wiggins
Wiseman
coming
that's
up.
Yeah, Wiggins too.
Wiggins, because to me, Wiggins may be that Draymond replacement in some aspects. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be the same caliber. CJ, don't you check me. Hold up. I'm just saying.
Next to Warrior guy.
But I'm just saying.
Let's slow down. Let's slow down a minute. Bro.
I'm not saying that he's going to be Draymond-esque. I'm just saying that what he did in the playoffs, he should have got some MVP considerations. Correct?
No
Well,
question.
Finals MVP? Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yes. So Wiggins looked pretty good as a 3-and-D guy. I'm going to say the 3-man, not the 3-point shooter, just the 3-guard and his defense that he did. Now, Draymond would definitely hurt, but his versatile, what do they call that, from line to line.
But that's the thing, like, Wiggins doesn't have that IQ. He doesn't have that playmaking that Draymond has, so that's another big loss.
But you're going to pay a man for his mental to not be able to do it, max. I would think you have to say, hey, listen, we need to start thinking of you more of a coaching role a little bit more. Like, we're going to pay you as much as we can, but we're going to start thinking, hey, veteran, start passing this torch down a little bit and getting them up. Because we even heard quite a bit, or at least I did on some things, that Jordan Poole has absolutely loved playing with Steph Curry and learning from him on how he plays and things he does. That's why I really think Poole has blossomed so much, because he is sitting there like a sponge absorbing everything he can from Steph Curry. So Draymond's got to start thinking about this future of the franchise. Now, I'm not obviously he needs the bank. I'm not saying he should take a loss. Don't get me wrong on that. But I think the franchise can't give him the max if they want to keep this team together to be contenders every year. Like, there's going to be a point where you say we're paying everybody. Now we obviously can't play their role players where we can actually do anything. Like, you're going to turn into the Lakers.
Yeah, I agree. I think they'll definitely come together and come with some type of negotiation where, he might take less for the betterment of the team if it has to come down to where, Poole extension is going to come up. Yeah.
I could see even Klay or Steph saying, hey, let's rework my contract a little bit on this too. Because those three are pretty close that I think that they would work something out where they can make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, again, loyalty works both ways. And if they see the team, making strides and trying to keep this championship window extended for as long as possible. Yeah.
Best comment ever.
The best comment ever right there. I agree with Michael. If the front office, like they've done, if they want to continue to extend this championship window, and they're seeing that the front office is doing so, then yeah, they might. There's definitely a possibility that they could, maybe structure some deals here and there to where to keep a lot of those guys. Very, very possible. I'm with you there, man. Last thoughts on this?
I mean, I
stand my ground.
Okay.
Will you be okay if Draymond walks?
No, I would not. I'm just gonna be honest. I would not be okay. Honestly,
I agree with that.
If the Warriors allow Draymond to walk, I think that's probably the biggest mistake. Honestly, in my opinion.
So again, because we've talked about this. If you had to choose, because it's going to come to it, Klay or Draymond, who you choosing?
I'm choosing me. I'm just kidding.
I really hope it doesn't come down to that, man.
I don't think it would.
But if it did come down to that, they could be a lot of beef. Maybe they could be on Twitter where we see these great videos of like people dunking on each other and be like, "Hey, you're too small" or something. Or am I thinking of someone else? Did that happen to someone else in a maybe another league? What was that going on, CJ? Can you bring something up? Like
yeah, it did.
Oh, that's what it is.
This pro-am beef that we got going on between.
What's going on with these alley-oops, bro? Like, you really a point guard out here.
I'm telling you.
You got DeJounte Murray What's up? What happened?
I don't know what got into DeJounte. Like he acting different.
DeJounte definitely went a little too overboard. I'll be honest. I don't even know where this stems from. I mean, I know they had the battle in the game, but I don't know like where this whole animosity from DeJounte came from. Like like right here, like you see the fake. He goes off the backboard for the dunk. Then he ends up throwing the ball, like getting into his face and everything. I don't know where this animosity comes from, and for him to be going on Instagram. Going on Instagram stories and typing all this other crap, like it's just insane to me, bro. Like what I'm saying, like you're a veteran in the league, bro. Like both of these guys are from Seattle, bro. Like, you should be embracing, dude. Like, yo, man, welcome to the league, young fella, yada yada yada. You know what I'm saying? Like to call him soft, before he even plays his first game in the league and everything. Like, I just think DeJounte looks really bad in this situation.
No, this is Michael Jordan-esque.
This is not Michael Jordan-esque, dog. Michael Jordan ain't calling Michael Jordan's not calling a rookie soft before he gets into before he plays his first game.
You're telling Michael Jordan wouldn't trash.
And the thing but here's the thing: Michael Jordan never instigated anything, though. You got to think about that. Like DeJounte is literally instigating this whole situation. People came up to Jordan.
All I'm saying is, I would never do this anytime I ever play, but I will say I love it for him for the fact that he's going to a new team. He's developing this new attitude, like, hey, let's go with this.
He's not even the best player on the team.
It doesn't matter. He is got a cutthroat on this, and he is going at it. So here's my thing. This is why I like it right now. When the season starts, if this attitude is still happening and he's still dominating, then it's fine. But the first game that he acts like this and something bad happens, his career might be over. Like, he's got to back it up. That's all I'm saying.
I just want to know where this animosity comes from. Like, I don't know where this came from, man. Like,
it happens sometimes.
A lot of people saying Popovich was making him not do all this stuff. It was keeping him fine. I'm like, that's probably true. You know how the Spurs are.
In that pro-am setting, that street basketball setting, that happens often. As you guys have seen.
He may have just been entertaining right there, boys.
Yeah, it looked like he was just trying. He was just trying to.
Now the way he threw the ball back,
the way that he threw the ball, he was upset. He was upset
on that one. I was like, oh, okay, that was a little uncalled for. The short and all that, okay, but he had some heat on that.
So and then for me, and then it's like if you do that, then all right, give the ball to Paolo, and then y'all go one-on-one. Like,
one-on-one, everyone.
That's what I'm used to seeing at the Rucker, at Dykeman. Like that's what they do. Like, all right, if you're gonna try to show up me, then let me get the ball back and let me respond, and then we go. And then they're the two premier guys in the game, so no one's gonna say anything. Everybody's gonna clear out and just let them work. But then you go on social media, which again is today is what we do now. It's social media is therapy for some people, which is weird. But
wow, bro,
it's facts.
Nick said he was going to go away from Twitter for a day, and he lasted like 2 hours.
Yeah, I lied. We all lie sometimes.
It's tough to shake Twitter, man. It is. But see, he goes on IG and he starts clowning Paolo. But my thing is, like Nick said, they're from the same area. You can't privately message him like, yo, bro, like what's going on, or hit him up, or I'm sure they have mutual friends or mutual connections.
Exactly.
Get his number, talk on the phone. Let's chop it up. For them to go on social media and start doing that, that's when it gets childish. Like, and you're just looking for attention. But I know I'll definitely be looking forward to Orlando versus the Hawks.
I am too.
Coming up there in the season.
We need that on TNT.
Terrence Ross still there?
T. Ross,
yeah.
Oh,
is he? Yeah, I think so. He's still there.
Those games gonna be good. It's gonna be some good games right there.
It's gonna be some good games. And the Magic,
Terrence Ross.
The Magic. Listen, they
You hating on Ross now?
I'm not hating on him, but it's like
the Magic got a solid team.
They do. Paulo, Cole Anthony, and those guys. Markelle Fultz. Hey, people say Markelle Fultz might be most improved player.
Yeah. I think we talked about this a little bit.
Yeah,
I think we talked about this a little bit last week. Like, they have some guys. They got some guys, man. Paulo could really be that guy to carry them. They got a lot of really good players. Jalen Suggs, Cole Anthony,
Wendell Carter.
Wendell Carter, Bomba, the Wagner brothers.
Wagner too. Oh
yeah. So they could be solid. They could sleep on people like how.
I want to ask you a quick question. It's kind of on subject but off. Like in my head, I'm thinking young team. I would run them like nonstop. Like, hey, we're going to outrun everyone.
No,
how come NBA teams don't really like press?
It's a good question, man. It really is.
Because I mean, I know it's kind of comical, but in men's leagues like that I've played in, we've actually pressed some just to be stupid, like having a good time. And you've got those big name people that are playing in the men's league that want to try to show off and bring it up on that little trap that you don't know it's coming, and they look dumb because they try to be a one-man person on that press. And the NBA would have those occasions on there. Like these young teams, I mean, why not run it the whole time, the whole 90 feet, and just keep them legs going and press the crap out of these teams? I mean, look at what it did.
Michael, we're out of shape. We out of shape, bro.
You all young, I ain't, but I'm just saying, like,
I think a reason why could be because other than the center, now in today's age, everybody can handle the rock. Yeah, exactly. Everybody can handle the rock, so there's no real mismatch.
Plus, I'll even say the strength that they have. Like, I mean, you can have the trap. You've got to leave the man all the way back. It's usually your open guy in whatever kind of trap form. They're strong enough to throw that ball,
it takes elite communication, chemistry to run that press. You need a Green type guy out there. It's a tough thing. I haven't really seen it. You only see it like towards the end of games when they're trying to get a steal and get a shot in, or they'll try to get a turnover. But it's just probably just because of the versatility of the A, man. And then also, if you slip up, you could give up an easy basket. So
I mean, it's already happening anyways.
That's true. Hot take. Magic make playing parentheses get bounced, but are still back in playing team.
That could be a possibility.
It's very possible. It's very possible. I think the East is obviously not up there with the Western Conference, but I think they've definitely made some strides to become a tougher conference. I like the Magic a lot. I think they have potential to be really good. Hopefully, they got the right guy at head coach with Jamal Mosley. And again, I'm a fan of Paolo. I like his game. So if they could turn some things around, it could be special.
We got to get to the bottom of this whole DeJounte situation. I need to know why you hate Paolo so much, bro. Like, he talking about, like, oh, he's a little boy. Like, come on, man. Like, what are you doing, dog? Like,
I think it was just the first draft pick.
That was to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
Jealous of what? He just went from a playing team to a top 5 team in the East.
Well, I don't know why my camera kicked out again there, but I'll probably have to stand like this. So I apologize.
No, you're good, man. Yeah, I don't know what you need to be jealous about. He's about to get a big time extension after this year. So I don't know. I just think it was.
He just had a most improved type season last year as well.
Yeah, made the All-Star. Like, bro, what are you be jealous about? I just made the All-Star team. Like, come on, man. I think it was just emotions ran high, and again, this is what people do when you're in your feelings. You go to Twitter and tell the world about it. Like, when really only about 5 people really care. So that's what we're living in.
Oh, that's a fact.
That was corny.
Yeah, it was. All right. It was corny, man.
It was very corny.
I don't
understand it. But speaking, you talked about press. I'm gonna try to do my version of Michael, man. A game plan for the Lakers. Darvin Ham allegedly dropped his, how he wants to run the Lakers this year. I'm gonna pull that up for you guys now. He says Lakers head coach Darvin Ham, with agreement from LeBron, plan to have offense run through Anthony Davis and Westbrook to get an uptick in corner threes. So, Laker fan, we got here Quan Williams, man. What's your thoughts on this scheme that the Lakers are going to run next season? Do you think it's going to work?
I mean, I think this was the plan last year, but
exactly.
Somebody didn't see the floor too much.
This is the plan last year. It's crazy because before AD, it's like before he gets hurt, he's having he's having a great start, gets hurt, tries to get back to what he was. It looked like he wasn't focused last year, like he wasn't playing to play. So I don't know. I feel like he was in the gym. He was in the gym this year. I feel like the only question mark is Russ in my eyes. AD is proven, except that his injuries and stuff. But I was talking about the corner threes earlier too with Westbrook. I think he absolutely needs to be shooting way more corner threes. Hopefully he doesn't hit the side of the backboard.
He needs to shoot more.
Somebody got
if he shoots more threes, he's gonna be like me shooting outside, like we were talking about earlier.
The Mega fans be like, no.
He already made LeBron a 3-point shooter because he can't shoot. So now, I think more corner threes for Russ. Shorter, just easier.
I don't like that sound, dog. I'm just gonna be honest, bro.
It's like I don't know what else to agree to because
I did it.
Something has to work. Something has to give. If not, just bench his ass. Like, you feel me? Or hopefully this Kevin Durant thing can be solved so we can get Kyrie.
Yeah. Nick, what's your thoughts on this game plan?
I mean, I kind of agree to an extent. Like, I thought even last year that, the AD should be the number one option, especially with LeBron, being up there in age. He's going into year 20 this year. So if AD stays healthy, then I do believe that they should run offense through AD. AD needs to be the guy that they go to, especially considering that, he's already a champion. He already knows what it takes to win at a high level. So they should definitely do that. I just, it's just tough, with the whole Westbrook situation because Westbrook hasn't really been the best shooter in the last few years. And it's like, especially last year when you look at it. So it's like he's going to have to really figure out how to play without the ball because I don't think that's really been his strength throughout most of his career because, when you look at him at OKC, even to an extent in Houston, and then of course in Washington as well, he mostly played with the ball in his hands. So now, you're playing alongside a guy like LeBron who is more ball dominant. Now you're going to have to make that sacrifice because with LeBron averaging around like 29, 30 a game, you're not going to take the ball out of his hands. So it's like he's going to have to figure out, how to really play off the ball, how to really get a consistent shot. Because if people remember, like real hoop fans, like Westbrook had a nice mid-range jump shot early in his career, like in OKC and everything. I don't know if it's like the muscle that he put on and everything that kind of like affected the shot. I don't know if it's the shooting sleeves, but he definitely did have a shot. So that's why, I'm looking at him like, dang, man, like I just hate how it went from that to this now, whereas like, now you don't want him to shoot. So I'm just hoping that Westbrook has, taken this offseason really serious, to really improve his craft, develop more of a jump shot because that's really what it's going to come down to is him being off the ball.
I'm right there with you guys. And again, I've been saying this for the last few weeks or so. Again, the key word for this team is sacrifice. And everybody's going to have to sacrifice. It makes sense to run the offense through Anthony Davis because he's the younger guy out of the three, but you got to be available for the offense to be
That's
able
true
to
as well.
avoid that. LeBron in year 20 should not be logging the amount of minutes that he's logging. He should be, I don't want to say coasting, but it shouldn't be as much as it is now. During the playoffs is when the minutes go up, and that's when we get to see his impact. Over the last few years, outside of 2020, we haven't really been able to see that for an extended amount of period of time in the postseason. So if AD stays healthy, the offense should be ran through him. But I don't know what happened to him last year. I don't know if he wasn't 100%. His free throws were down. His three-point shot, I believe, was 18%, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that, but it definitely was very low. The mid-range just wasn't going in. So I really hope he's locked in this offseason, has a lot of time to himself to reflect, think about what this year is have in store for him. Because talent-wise, everybody knows he could be a top 5 guy in the NBA. But once you get to this stage, it's more than just talent. You got to also produce, and he's shown flashes of production at a high level. But you got to stay consistent with it, and he just hasn't been able to do so because he hasn't been on the court. for a long amount of periods of time. So, and then for Westbrook, man, that's the best thing. That's probably the best decision for him is to work on the corner three, because like we were talking about, it's the shortest shot on that 3-point line. So he needs to work on that. It makes a lot of sense. They're gonna sag off him. So why not work on that shot? They're gonna sag off you, bro. They're not gonna respect you to make that shot. And if you knock a couple of those down, then they'll step up, and then you could blow by them. Then you could use your ability to finish around the rim or play make and get other guys involved off the dribble penetration. So, I mean, hopefully he's working on that. If I'm Darvin Ham, that's the first thing I tell him as soon as we chop it up. It's like, yo, bro, I need you to be able to space the floor.
That's a fact.
You have to be able to space the floor, because you can't have LeBron being a decoy in the corner. Absolutely not. So, like I said, somebody's gonna have to sacrifice, man. If you want to win a championship, it's bigger than your ego. You got to put your ego to the side for the betterment of the team. And Westbrook hasn't been on a championship team at all. He's been to the championship, but lost. So now you get to the point where it's year 15 now. This is year 15 for us. So how do you want to be remembered, bro? Yeah, of course you're going to be remembered as one of the greatest, most athletic point guards of all time. But you've been on teams with talented guys, some of the greatest players to ever play, and you don't have one championship to show for it. So it's a big year for him, man. So hopefully he's locked in and really worked on spacing the floor, bro. I mean, we saw Jason Kidd, not a great 3-point shooter early in his career. The older he got, he worked on his shot, and it worked out for him. He was able to be a champion because of it, and still make more money towards the later part of his career. So maybe Russ follows in that same mode. I think it'd be great, because again, if he's able to win that championship with LeBron, AD, with this franchise, it'll be a great story.
I'll be honest with y'all, man. I think at this point, I mean, it might hurt a few Laker fans if I say this, but at this point, I wouldn't even really mind if Westbrook slide to the bench, to the second unit. I know it might hurt. I know that Russ may not like it, especially, considering, how his career has panned out, him being an MVP, him getting to the finals, him being a superstar. But, I don't know. It's like, with this Laker team, it's like, if he's not hitting shots, because, I mean, we know that he can do everything else. We know that he's still going to, play off of athleticism. We know that he's still going to have that great passing ability. But if he's not able to space the floor, like CJ said, then that's going to be a problem.
So what would that lineup look like if Russ is not in there?
Unfortunately, probably THT. Unfortunately.
The guy that can't shoot, bro.
Another guy.
He's a better shooter than Westbrook at this point, at least.
Reeves.
Yeah,
well,
he doesn't have the athleticism.
You're gonna have to put AD at the 5, LeBron at the 4. You could put.
And LeBron's probably gonna be the point guard, anyways.
What's Kendrick Nunn?
Kendrick Nunn can't see the floor, dog. He can't even get on there. He can't stay healthy.
He's good. He's really good, man, but he just can't stay on the court.
I couldn't believe they let Monk go.
Who did we sign? We
signed Lonnie Walker, Thomas Bryant, and I think someone else.
Oh,
JTA, Juan Toscano.
Oh yeah, Juan Toscano Anderson, but he's not really a shooter.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You got Christian saying Kyrie's still going to be a Laker. Yeah, I mean, it's looking that way, brother. Just for the simple fact that KD wants out, and they're not going to keep Kyrie if KD's gone in Brooklyn. So,
yep.
And there were reports that you guys are willing now to give up that second first round pick, that 2029 first round pick. And any future
Mitchell fell through.
The Lakers are just gonna be down bad for the future, man. I'm sorry, man. They're giving up so many picks, but they gave up some picks for the AD trade. Then they might do the same thing for this possible Kyrie.
If it's down bad, if it goes bad, then I'm just flipping AD. Just gotta hope if he stay healthy, then I'm just flipping him and try to get some of those picks back.
Okay.
That's it. That's the only thing they can do, because nobody's going to trade for a 41-year-old LeBron, a 42-year-old LeBron.
Nah.
Listen, what they're going to do, now that you say that, they're going to wait 2 years, and then Anthony Davis is going to trade whoever to get Bronny to be a Laker. AD will be out, Bronny will be in.
You know how crazy that would look? Trading AD for Bronny?
Well, I mean, they'll get picks too, of course. So, I mean, but it'll be the sole own LeBron James. Well, thank you for being a Laker. We got your son here. we got rid of AD. We're going to be rebuild. It's going to be a Kobe farewell. I mean, it's going to be a LeBron farewell.
Thanks. Speaking of that AD trade, Draymond Green on his podcast, he was talking to Kyle Kuzma. He spoke about it and said if BI had stayed with the Lakers, he wasn't sure if the Lakers have won that championship instead of Kyle Kuzma being on the team. And also, Nick actually dropped an article about 2 years ago talking about the trade and if the Lakers will regret trading Brandon Ingram. I'm gonna pull that up for you guys right now. We'll start with you, Nick. When you dropped this article, you know what was your thought process, and now here we are 2 years later, and how do you feel about everything now?
Well, around that time frame that I dropped it, you know, obviously Ingram had the most improved type season. You know, I think he upped his scoring to around like 25 a game. He became an All-Star that year as well. So when you look at the circumstances, so here's the thing with Laker fans around this time, and it's so funny now because now when you talk to Laker fans now, it's like, you know, they want Brandon Ingram back. But around that time frame, 2017, 2018, Kuzma was their guy. Like Kuzma was the best player that they wanted to keep. Out of that young core, Lonzo, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, Kyle Kuzma, like that was the guy that they loved the most was Kyle Kuzma, which was deserved because, I mean, Kuzma did have a pretty solid rookie year and then, of course, year two as well. But I think a lot of people underestimated Ingram because, you know, Ingram wasn't, I guess, ascending enough, you know, to be a Laker per se. But I just remember that first year, you know, when LeBron got to the team and how well he and Brandon Ingram were able to flourish on the floor together. I think a lot of people kind of overlooked that. So now all of a sudden, you know, you trade him, Lonzo, Josh Hart, and a few picks to the Pelicans for AD. Obviously, they do win that championship. But let's just be honest, man. Kuzma really wasn't that great of a player alongside LeBron and AD. I mean, if we're going to be honest, I mean, I'm not going to say like all of his moments were bad, but at least from what I remember, he really wasn't that great of a player alongside those guys. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Kuzma because now you see him in Washington, and now, you know, he actually had a pretty solid season there with the Wizards this past year. But I don't know. It's like, you know, when you think about it, like, you know, I can't remember exactly like what I wrote in that article, but I'm pretty sure I broke down, you know, the possibility of BI, LeBron, and AD. You know, how BI would have been able to take that pressure off of LeBron. You know, as far as being a playmaker, and LeBron could have just easily you know, been a scorer. Or, you know, or would have done anything else, honestly. So when you look at BI today, you know, how much he has ascended, you know, he had the most improved type season in 2020. And then this past year, the Pelicans made the playoffs. And then, of course, you know, he had a really good series against the Pelicans against the Suns. You know, it does make you look back and say, like, damn, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, did the Lakers kind of regret doing this, you know, trading away a guy like Brandon Ingram and his caliber? Because now, like, you know, now all of a sudden, like, you know, you look years later, Kyle Kuzma's not there anymore. So it's like, I don't know.
I'm seeing some comments here for some Laker fans. We got Christian. Dre's dumb with that. If you win a chip, no regrets.
Elaborate, brother. Elaborate.
No regrets what you give up. We got Unwrapped Sports. Commenting, no regrets. Kuzma was like a fifth-year senior. He better get buckets year one. Yeah, it's okay. We got Unwrapped again. They don't think Ingram would have developed like this unless he had the chance to be a number one in New Orleans.
I agree on that one.
If we kept BI, we would not made the Westbrook move. We would have packaged BI and picks and got someone else.
Man,
well, I mean,
that sounds like a bad thing.
Yeah, Kuzma. I get what Draymond's saying because Kuzma had to sacrifice. He had to be a spot up guy, and this is what you have when you play with LeBron James. You have to be a spot up guy. If you're not the second guy, if you're the third guy, you got to play spot up. Kevin Love, Chris Bosh. It's just what it is. If you got to be able to shoot the ball because you're not going to have the basketball in your hands as much as you were if you were that guy. So in BI's case, BI was more of a even though back then he showed flashes But then once he went to New Orleans, I think he definitely really
took off.
He definitely took off, and like you said, he won MIP and started to play well, made the All-Star game. So he was more comfortable in his role, and he had some young, really good teammates too with Ball, like you talked about. Hart was there, and of course Zion. So for Kuzma, I don't think you can't regret it because you won a championship. If you win the championship, then you can't really say it was a regret. But they said we got another Buddy Hield should have been a Laker twice.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah, but again, it's just those picks. That's you guys were reluctant to giving up those picks. Honestly, he's still an option right now, to be honest. But I don't think they truly regret it because again, like I said, they won the championship in 2020. I felt like BI was the better player back then, and he was the younger player. And it's showing itself now, even though Kuzma had a really good year last year with the Wizards.
But this is the thing with Laker fans, man. Laker fans ain't got no patience, man. Like, they don't have patience whatsoever because they're so used to winning. So it's like BI was pretty solid.
We're talking about Brooklyn at the beginning of the show after 1 year of actually having everyone, though. Like,
it's not the Lakers not having patience. LeBron doesn't have patience either, bro.
That's true.
yeah,
He's not trying to wait
coaches
for
after
young-
half seasons.
And then he's not trying to and he's not trying to wait for young guys to develop and become something. You know what I mean? So listen, if they had waited one more year, there would have been a hell of a big three. I'll tell you that. And a lot of the discussions that we're talking about right now with the Lakers probably won't be in the fold. You have BI, AD, and LeBron. Maybe you still win a championship with that. It's very possible. But BI and then maybe in that first year with them together would have had to just be a spot up guy because he would have been the third option. And then maybe by now it maybe might have shifted a little bit where they're kind of just playing off each other, and it would have been more of a seamless transition where they're playing more free basketball because they'll start to see the type of talent that Ingram had. And Ingram's much younger. And then truth be told, I don't even think David Griffin, he was going to take BI just because BI was younger and the upside was there. It was just he wasn't going to take
that. Was a smart move.
That would have been a robbery if they were able to keep BI and still have Anthony Davis with LeBron, because everybody saw what BI could have what had the potential to be. Just what a couple was another year of development. So I think no regrets. Because again, they won the championship, but man, on the New Orleans side, it looks great right now because now BI has that playoff experience that he wasn't able to get over the last few years, and he looked great against the number one seed in the Western Conference, averaging 30. So, and the Lakers are kind of in shambles right now. So, it's just what it is. Quan, what's your thoughts, man? Laker fan. We got Christian here. Rams win, Dodgers win, Lakers got to win. Lakers got to do their part.
That's the fact.
They had to win for Kobe that year.
It's rigged.
It sucks that we didn't get a parade.
Shut up, Michael.
we didn't even get a parade. That's the crazy part. But whatever. Hey,
that's a little aggressive, by the way.
I'm sorry. DeJounte Murray got the best of me.
Yeah, I could tell.
You still can't figure it out? Yeah, bro. No, all right. All right, let's go back to year one. Year one when LeBron was when he first came. I know he got hurt, right? LeBron got hurt.
Yeah, he got hurt in that Christmas game against Golden State.
His groin. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think it's one of those mysteries, bro. I feel like if they actually made the playoffs, where it kind of looked like, they were trending downward, but if LeBron was healthy and they made the playoffs with that team, I still feel like they would have got bounced maybe second round.
Definitely second round.
maybe second round.
I mean, you also got to think too. Like before LeBron got hurt, they were like the top 4 seed in the West at that time.
Yeah, that is true too, and they just couldn't maintain at all. Like, I don't know about it. I just feel like Brandon Ingram would have never got his moment to become what he is now if he didn't get traded. The same thing with Lonzo going to Chicago. Like even though he's hurt, there's another person that's hurt too. His upside got shot down pretty much with the injuries.
It sucks too.
Yeah. So
I mean, we like I get what you're saying. I know it's a valid point, but you gotta remember when LeBron went to Cleveland, Kyrie, he was a young player, and he capitalized on that moment. I think it could have definitely been the same thing.
It could have been, but just Kyrie.
No, but it wasn't Kyrie until they went to the finals and he started playing well in the playoffs.
That's true too.
You know what I'm saying? That's when he became Kyrie and what they did against Golden State. So I guess LeBron didn't see that type of potential maybe with BI. I think BI just wasn't healthy enough at that time for him to have a lot of confidence, and and Clutch. AD was represented by Clutch Sports. LeBron's represented by Clutch Sports, and they just made it happen.
True. And it definitely could have been that way. I also will blame Laker fans too. I feel like Laker fans absolutely had a part in saying, "Oh, his game is developing too slow, or his game is too slow. It doesn't match up. The Lakers need to move the ball around." Like, BI's game. He's a face up. He's a post up face up guy. Who's a post up face up guy that played for the Lakers for years?
Kobe. Man. Of course, Bean.
Kobe.
Yeah.
So boys, I'm gonna say this, and I have to admit this. Sorry, I did not know Bean was his middle name. I thought it was a nickname. I apologize.
Yeah, he got it from his dad. His dad's nickname was Jelly Bean.
Joe
Jelly Bean. Yeah.
Facts. Yeah. So it's like Brandon Ingram's game. Like it got shades of Durant. It had shades of Kobe in it, in my opinion, because he loves the post up. Post up game is straight up BI every time. Like I just feel like Laker fans and front office weren't patient enough to want to sit there and be like, all right, let's give him one more year. Let's not trade him.
But I feel like got shades of.
And I was telling Laker fans I was telling Laker fans at that time, be patient with Ingram. Everybody's like, nah.
He's out here dropping 30, like not all the time, but he had some games where he could take over the game for you, like, and it just had to be LeBron. It was cool. It was the young guys. Like, I blame LeBron too. LeBron, LeBron wants to win now. But he's earned that right to say that too, for how long he's played in the league and all them years he's played with that trash ass Cleveland team in the early 2000s. So, yeah. So
rest of the teams in the East were trash too, though.
What about Boston? Boston won a chip, bro.
Boston, Detroit.
That's why LeBron left Cleveland, though. So
Orlando.
Orlando.
Orlando was great, but were they really great?
They made the finals.
Great.
I know. Turkoglu,
Rashard Lewis, Jameer Nelson.
For them, that should have been LeBron versus Kobe that year, man. We got.
It would. Oh yeah, definitely 100%.
Can we? Let's be honest. That Orlando team was good because they just bought into the system. Like it was almost like, to me, I'm going to say this.
But
don't hate me.
Their system was perfect. Like they had a dominant player in the low post, Dwight Howard, but they surrounded him with a bunch of shooters. Rashard Lewis, Turkoglu, Jameer Nelson.
That team wasn't great or anything.
They made it happen, though, man.
Okay, and I'm cool with that answer. They made it happen, like the Cleveland Cavaliers teams with LeBron. They made it happen, but that team wasn't great, really. Like,
I'm with you there. They were really.
But here's the thing, though. Like
Turkoglu.
I think the reason why you're saying it is because of today's climate, though. Like you're looking at today's climate, where it's like where teams have 2 or 3 All-Stars. I mean, back then it wasn't really that case. Like you know what I'm saying? Like LeBron didn't have another All-Star behind.
He had to be sedated, bro. Remember?
Turkoglu.
Oh my God! We're not even gonna bring that up. We're not bringing that up at all. We can't do that. I respect LeBron too much to bring that
I
up.
love
I'm
my boy,
sorry.
man, but he.
Yeah, the guys around LeBron back then in Cleveland, he just needed one more solid guy during that.
Because who was that big white guy? Ilgauskas?
Ilgauskas.
Okay. Like, honestly, he wasn't good, but he was before his time with the shot as a big guy, and it worked well with LeBron because every big man could not cover that much range. And LeBron would get a pick and go to the hole. The bigs always cut the penetrator off, LeBron off, and Iggy would I'm going to say Iggy, even though that's definitely not his nickname. I'm sorry for that disrespect. Ilgauskas would sit there for that free throw at the top of the key shot and make it. Technically, it was unguardable. UCLA's done that to UK for the past 2 or 3 years that we've played them. I've actually tried to come up with a way that you can actually manipulate your defense to double team the pick and roll and have that covered. But anyways, it was just they ran the system right and they made it work. So, I mean, to say that the Cavaliers, we always say that those teams were trash, and Quam, I'm not saying that you're wrong on that. The whole East kind of was, but they had the personnel that they wanted and made it work. Now, of course, they would want to upgrade, but they had the execution of what they needed with their lineup and looked good. Snow was a good player.
He was all right, yeah.
But that's the thing, though. Like, I think you're looking too much into like today's game, where it's like you have 2 or 3 all-stars on your team. Like back then, 2007, 08, like that was a different NBA. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
before super teams happened. I'm with
exactly.
you.
The West had 2-3 guys.
They had Shaq and Kobe.
They had Shaq and Kobe. They had Tim and
That's
Tim
why
and
they
Nani
repeated
and
3
Tony
times
Parker.
in a row, twice, I think.
I'll give you that.
Nash and Amar. The West had all those guys, but the East, yeah, I'm with you. The East didn't have that.
I guess the Nets. I'll go back with the Nets. I'm sorry to interrupt you there. You don't see when I'm about to speak because of this beautiful camera that I have. But like Jason Kidd made the Nets when Vince Carter came over. And I mean, you had Jefferson there. I really like the Nets back then because
Richard Jefferson was not like up to like superstar like.
Exactly.
Level.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
That's what I'm getting at. Like the Nets were always at that level to make it to the finals, but really they weren't a great team. It's just Jason Kidd would carry everyone on his team and just throw it at the rim and someone would be there. The East wasn't really stacked teams. It was all weak teams that just had to go up against the Lakers or the Spurs.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. I mean, until LeBron really, established himself as that guy in the Eastern Conference, the other teams, he really didn't have the type of battles in the East. I mean, the Pistons.
The
Pistons. Miami. It wasn't. Those guys were pretty much on the way out by the time LeBron really hit his stride.
What are we talking about?
The
Pistons.
Oh, yeah.
Billups, Tayshaun Prince, and the rest of
Rip Hamilton.
Rip Hamilton, yeah. Ben Wallace,
Rasheed.
yeah. So those guys, it took a while, but I just think it wasn't that. That's why LeBron was able to go 66-16 in one of those seasons, despite not having an elite guy next to him.
He also didn't really play that well though in some of those series, though.
Well, I mean, yeah, because this is what I'm saying. It's easy to game plan because there's nobody else out there that's really
true.
That's why the Mavs were able to do what they did in that finals. You just play zone.
Quam, just so you know, I am a LeBron hater if you haven't noticed yet.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, like the comparisons, like, well, Michael didn't have these teams that LeBron had. Well, LeBron's teams that he went against in the East, I've always felt were just as bad as his Cavaliers team, and I feel like it's something that always gets overlooked in his argument there for like, oh, he doesn't have the rings. Well, I mean,
are you talking about the teams he's faced like his earlier years, or the teams he's faced when he was on Miami or
Cavaliers 1.0?
Okay,
so let's break it down. 07 he faces Detroit. Like, I don't consider Detroit. I mean, I know that they were like a little bit older, but I don't consider them like a bad team. Like Billups.
No. But do you consider them like an all-star, an elite team, like the Miami Heat with?
Yeah.
Defensively, yeah.
Remember, like I think they took Miami to 7 games with that D-Wade Shaq team and those guys.
Yeah, they beat them.
Yeah.
They won the finals.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like that team because they're nothing but defense, and that's what I always like as far as coaching or any kind of schemes like that. But they weren't all stars or anything like names that you'd be like, hey, this is a great person. Like Rasheed Wallace, yes, he was a great defensive player and he could shoot the three, and it worked well with that team. He was a good player. But, like, are we going to say, like, wow, he's a Anthony Davis on this big three? Like,
Pistons. Yeah, they were like you said, they had a team of a bunch of really good guys. Chauncey was.
They had gods loved them, and
they had Larry Brown as their coach.
Yeah, Chauncey Billups was clutch. Rip Hamilton.
And I know it's back in my generation. Y'all may not know it. What was that pick that they took that boy
he's on a Darko. I already know where you're going with it.
Man, what a waste.
They would have took Melo.
He got a ring.
Yeah,
he got a ring. Yeah, he got the ring by
I think Pistons players said like they would have not gotten a ring with Melo. I think it was Ben Wallace. I think it was him that said that.
Yeah, I disagree with that, and that would have been.
I do too.
That would have been a beautiful rivalry between LeBron and Melo in the East. That would have been some. What would you say?
I don't know, because where would he have played? Like, who would have not played on that team for Melo? And I know Melo's more of the best, but
I'm putting Melo over Tayshaun Prince. That's my opinion.
But see, Tayshaun was the defensive guy on that team.
At that time,
and I love Tayshaun. Like,
because Tayshaun was a sleeper. Even the coach would talk about, like, we wanted Tayshaun at this early pick, but we knew no one was looking at Tayshaun Prince because he was tall, lanky, didn't really have muscle tone, left-handed. People overlooked his defensive-minded.
Or just make Melo the sixth man.
No.
Who the sixth man?
Melo on that team?
No way.
You're going to draft Melo ahead of Tayshaun Prince and make him the sixth man?
No, Tayshaun wasn't a part of that draft.
He was.
He was part of the 03 draft? I don't think so.
No,
Tayshaun Prince?
He was already on the team.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Because the player that I'm talking about who they took that was turned out to be trash, like they drafted him and they're like, we wanted to take Tayshaun there. It's one I always felt like I heard that.
No, they wanted to take Melo. And then
remember
Darko Milicic.
Yeah, I remember Tayshaun was on that team when they played the Pacers that year in the conference finals. When Tayshaun got that block and who was it? Reggie Miller or something like that?
Reggie Miller, yeah. He was already on the Pistons. It was Darko Milicic who got drafted ahead of Melo. And everybody's like, how did he get drafted ahead of Melo? Melo just won a national championship.
Mm-hmm.
But Melo was, I think Melo on that team, it would have been perfect for him. It would have been perfect for him because he would have went to a really good team. I don't know who was the that was Joe Dumars. I mean, you hit and miss, man. You can't make every shot, but that was definitely one that they would have been. That would have been some good rivalries, and I'm pretty sure that the Pistons would have got the best of the Cavs more often.
Definitely. 100%. Oh my god.
Way more often.
They definitely had the better team with Melo. Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We got Christian here. Imagine if Prime Dirk and LeBron find a way to be on Cleveland. Yeah, that would have been insane, bro.
That would have been nasty.
That would have been crazy.
Dirk was a killer, dog. Oh my god, he was a killer.
I forgot they drafted in 2000. Got Team Cleaves from Michigan State.
We got Barry here. Was good. Barry was good, man. If Sixers get KD, I think they're the best team in the East. With Harden and Embiid. Yes,
they're up there. I don't know if they're the best.
On paper,
yes.
On paper, yeah, bro.
It depends on who they have to lose, though.
But again, personalities.
That's my thing, though. Like, if you got to give up Maxey, Tobias Harris, and a few other, or maybe some picks or whatever, like I don't know. Because Maxey's really ascending as a really good player.
Where'd he go to college?
Oh my God! Here we go again.
Yeah, they're gonna give up. They're gonna give up Tobias, Maxey, Thibault, like Quan was saying, and obviously some first round picks. But to me, what I've learned in these last couple of years, it's about the relationships, man, and the connections. We could play exactly camaraderie. We could play this 2K22 everybody team up type thing, but in the real life, you got egos. People are getting their feelings.
They see it out there in LA.
Doc Rivers, I ain't gonna lie, he's not the best. He's not. Nah. When I talk about coaches being therapists, not the best.
He was still the coach of the Sixers. Oh my God.
Them in Boston, yes.
He won't be past this year.
Milwaukee's gonna be up there. Milwaukee's gonna be up there too.
Milwaukee's gonna be up there, but I mean, if in a 7-game series, I'd have to look at the rest of that Sixers roster because, like you said, they would obviously get the team is gonna get gutted because getting KD, you're gonna give up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they trade Tucker in that pick trade?
No, they
No,
don't.
no.
They just
I
got
don't think so
PJ.
either. Yeah.
I don't think the Nets wouldn't even want him. They wouldn't even want him. Because that he'd be in a different direction of what they're trying to go in. They'd be trying to rebuild. You got a 37-year-old 3-and-D power forward. That wouldn't even work out.
I don't know. See, I don't think they're going to be that bad off.
If
If
what?
the Nets, when they trade KD, because they're going to be trading Kyrie right after that. Like,
Hey,
I don't
Cam Thomas, #1 option. I'm calling it.
It's a lot of shots for the boy, man.
I'm
lot.
just saying, like, I feel like the Nets would be in a great place when they get all these picks. Like, they're going to be the Boston Celtics of the future.
Yeah, but you gotta hit 2 home runs like that, and that's rare.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, from the Lakers, who would you be trying to get to build around? If Kyrie goes there.
Oh, what you mean for the Nets?
Yeah. If I'm the Nets and I'm trading Kyrie to the Lakers.
Right.
I'm sure Westbrook's got to be a part of that.
Yeah, Westbrook. Yeah.
3-team trade.
So you're going to get Westbrook.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll get a pick?
Yeah, of course. That's what they want.
They're talking about 2 picks, is it? So you're going to get 1 first round, maybe a second round pick for Westbrook. So you got Westbrook, who can obviously lead a team by himself. Who knows how far, but he can lead them. So you're getting Westbrook, and then you're going to possibly match him up with Maxey. Who else did we say? Tobias.
Thibault. That's a playing team, brother.
I don't think Russ ends up.
I'm not saying that they're winning it, but I mean they're not bad.
What'd you say?
It's still going to be a good team with some picks.
I think Russ ends up in San Antonio.
Yeah.
You got to be.
I don't know.
You got to be a 3-team trade. It doesn't work.
I'm not really a big fan of that. I ain't gonna lie.
I don't think unless those picks are involved, nobody wants Russ. Unfortunately, man.
Like
Those first round picks.
They already said like it's no way Brooklyn can trade Kyrie to the Lakers straight up. Like 2 teams. It got to be multiple team trade off rip.
I'll admit, like if a team like Indiana or somebody would get involved, then
I was just about to say that. Yeah, the
Indiana's
Pacers
playing with the Lakers. They don't like the Lakers.
they want the picks, bro. You're not trying to give up 29 first round. That 2029 first round pick. Y'all just want to give up 2027.
Who on the Pacers?
Buddy Hield. Y'all need spacing, clearly.
Buddy Hield,
Desperately.
Halliburton.
Nah, I
Feel like
wouldn't.
cats as well.
Yeah, he's already been traded once. I don't think he's.
No, they wouldn't.
Buddy Hield was traded as well.
But Pacers wouldn't trade Tyrese though. That would
see
make
that.
sense. Yeah, they want to have them as a future.
Okay, Westbrook to the Bucks.
And Hield makes sense because they just drafted Mathurin. So
Yeah, that's true.
You want to keep him. You want to make sure he gets as much playing time as possible. So that could definitely be a possibility. I could see a 3-team trade with those 3 teams. We got Barry here again. KD, Harden, Joel, unstoppable. Nobody's stopping them. Only thing stopping them is their emotions.
And Doc Rivers.
And Doc Rivers, yeah.
I'm sorry.
If they get in their feelings and they don't want to, and they don't want to play when they want to, and the chemistry's not going down, then it's going to be clipped, bro. But yeah, I mean, of course, on paper, that's definitely unstoppable, no doubt.
I see it now. Harden throws a pass to Joel, and he doesn't expect it because Harden never passes. He breaks his finger, does something to his hand. He sits out for 4 years. This thing's done.
We got a potential trade here from Unwrap. Russ THT 2 first. Let's call it a day. I guess
To Brooklyn?
That's
Kyrie.
Brooklyn?
That's what Brooklyn
For
wants.
Kyrie.
Brooklyn wants him 2 picks. That's really
Yeah, that's the thing, because like I ain't gonna lie, like Russ and THT and that's a little nasty to me if you trade that for Kyrie.
But it gets rid of Russ.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be a 3 teams. It's gonna have to be 3 teams involved. It's gonna have to be more.
I don't think you're gonna put Russ and Ben Simmons on the same team.
It'll just be for a year, man.
But
For a year.
that spacing is horrific, boy.
They're gonna build a new Freedom Tower.
Nah, I'll just put Ben Simmons at the 5, man.
No, you can't have him at the 5.
Maybe
Why
at the
not?
4. Maybe at the 4.
So
And never have the ball.
Draymond he could play Draymond role.
Okay, you're talking Draymond style 5.
Yeah,
Okay, I mean, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
Small ball 5, even though he's 6'10", not really small ball.
I'm taking a phone call right now with us.
All right, we got a couple.
Like that.
He's getting signed right now. He's like, "Oh, I just got an agent, guys. I'm starting up my own show now after this."
All right, we got a couple more topics before we wrap it up, guys.
Utah would be a good place for a trade too. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, but not with that guy Danny Ainge. I'm good. All the way good. Trying to fleece franchises for their entire future. I'm good on that, man. But here we got this is an interesting one, man. I was talking to one of my guys about this and try to get their thoughts, and it was definitely tough. We got all in their prime, rank them in order. We got Cousins, Zebo, LaMarcus Aldridge, Blake Griffin, Jermaine O'Neal, and Kevin Love. We gonna go with Michael. Which one are you taking out of these guys in their prime?
Number 1.
Yeah, rank them for me, 1 through 6.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Oh God, you going with the Kentucky guy first?
Nope,
Sir.
I'm not. Give me Zebo number 1. Don't hate me. I know. Don't hate me. I loved him. Hey, that was my nickname, okay? I can say this without you all looking at me, so this is great. I'm going to go Cousins 2. I'm going to go Blake 3. I really want to go Kevin Love here at 4, then Aldridge and O'Neal. And
Nick.
crickets.
Nick, here you go. Now we're gonna review them after. Actually, now let's review it now. So you got Zebo 1.
No. I want to hear everyone, so nobody can
okay.
change their list when
All
y'all critique mine.
All right, cool.
All right, cool. I'm gonna go Prime Boogie first. I'm gonna go Prime Boogie 1. I'm gonna go Jermaine 2. I might. Dang, what is tough? It's tough.
No, it's
I'm gonna go K-Love 3. Like K-Love in Minnesota, definitely something special. Definitely. I'm gonna go. Golly, but it's kind of hard. I'm gonna go Prime Blake 4. I'm gonna go LA 5, and I'm gonna go Zebo 6.
You got my Zebo at the last?
I love Zebo, man.
You can just tell your age. I'm just saying that. You can just tell your age.
I got Jermaine O'Neal number 2.
I don't care.
Qual, what about you, man?
I'm gonna go Prime Boogie 1, Jermaine O'Neal number 2. I'm gonna put I'm gonna put Blake at number 3. I'm gonna put Blake at 3 because Showtime LA.
It's fine.
A lot of people forget Blake Griffin had an MVP caliber season one year.
It was crazy.
Chris Paul, thank you.
I'm gonna put Kevin Love 4th, Zebo 5th, and LA last.
All right, I got Cousins, Blake, LA, Love, Zebo, Jermaine O'Neal.
Jermaine O'Neal last? What?
Thank you. At least we got the O'Neal together. CJ, Mr. James. And I'll tell you, here's where my hate comes with O'Neal. It's an all-star game. Michael Jordan hit the game-winning shot, but O'Neal.
Are you talking about like 03?
I think so. And he fouled, I think it was Kobe, and he made the free throws on the three-pointer. Like, Kobe had no chance of making it, and he got to shoot the free throws to tie it back up. Like, all he had to do was not foul. You're in an all-star game, and you foul on a three-point shot to lose, basically, Michael Jordan's last year walking out all-star win in the game.
So that's what makes 5 players better than him.
Absolutely, hands down. You can say it's hate. You can say it's bias. You can say whatever you want to. But he's my 6. Just because of that one play, I don't care.
Hey man, Indiana J.O. was something different.
He was really good. He was special. I got Cousins 1 because he was so talented, man, and he could do it. He was doing everything Jokic was doing.
Oh yeah, Prime Boogie was a monster.
Back in 2010, it's just the Kings, so just a poverty franchise back then. So that was, we really couldn't get to see him in the playoffs during his prime. It's unfortunate. And then once he went to New Orleans. We know what he was doing with AD until he got hurt. So Blake, as soon as Blake, after he his second year, after tearing his ACL his rookie year, came on the scene and just took the league by storm, posterizing guys.
Yeah.
He was a problem, man. Him and Chris Paul, DeAndre Jordan, what they did in LA, put the Clippers on the map after being a laughingstock of a franchise for pretty much our whole entire life. I had him too. LA was special. Him and B-Roy LA was putting up 26, 27 easily with the midi. His mid range was on point. And K Love, saying it's kind of similar to what Sacramento too. It's like we're cousins. He was putting up crazy numbers, 26 and 13, 4 assists. 30. He had a 30-30 game. It was against the Knicks, of course. So yeah, he was a problem in Minnesota, and then Z-Bo, obviously, even in Portland, he was really good. When he was with the Knicks again, they traded him. Isaiah Thomas traded him away. What are you doing? Him and Jamal Crawford.
Those in poverty years with Isaiah.
Man, let me tell you, bro. Oh man. Yeah. When they had Jamal Crawford and Z-Bo, he traded them away for Jerome James. Who is that? So I got Z-Bo was special, lefty. We talked about it earlier. I was a big fan of his game. They went to Memphis, him and Gasol, what they did in grit and grind years. Special player. And then Jermaine O'Neal. I mean, it's a tough list, but what he did in Indiana was great. He was a problem too. He was really good. He had a nice mid-range shot too. He had a great game, but I just think those 5 guys, I put them over him.
I'm upset with the Z-Bo hate in this group.
I Z-Bo hate.
I mean, we got to enjoy him in New York, like watching him play in New York. Like he played hard,
To me, the ball went through him always. And with Mark Gasol on the team too, like it was 2 twin towers. I mean, it was 2 towers, obviously not 2 twin towers down there, and he was still able to dominate. Like usually 2 big guys like that, it's going to get congested, I always felt like, and one or the other wouldn't be able to do good. Like they still made it work with the 2 guys and Mike Conley. So he was awesome.
He was.
Nick, you need to go do your report.
So I'm gonna ask you this. So is the reason of putting Z-Bo ahead of DeMarcus Cousins is because of that one situation where Z-Bo was like, in my hood, bullies get bullied?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Maybe no. I love Cousins. I didn't want to be biased and put him first. I do think a lot of his stats, and I guess you could say I'm hating on this, are inflated a bit because the teams are bad. Like his 20 rebounds a game. Like, I mean, some of those rebounds, like he would miss and just be right there tapping it in. I'm not saying he was trying to pad his own stats, but like some of them are just like, okay, like that was ridiculous. I can't believe that was even a shot because your team sucks so bad. Well, like, I mean, they were he was the offense on that. Cousins, his attitude sometimes. I hate when players get texts. Like, we've talked about this before. NBA players get texts all the times. Then the NBA player goes to the Olympics and never gets a text. Like, how does that happen? Obviously, you choose to have that bad attitude. Shut up. That's how I feel about it. Because, to me, you've got kids watching how you play, and you're supposed to be a mentor to them. So that's me as a father, my age on there, I know. So I just always hated his attitude as far as that.
Yeah. I was just looking at talent. But those
I'm not looking at anything else.
Yeah, I was going on just talent wise. What he was doing, man, it was just unfortunate that they couldn't put a team around him, man.
That's true.
I figured y'all would put Aldridge up a little bit more.
Aldridge has a nice mid range. He was a nice mid range scorer.
He was a bucket. Yeah. That midi was automatic. Him and Lillard, him and B-Roy, they were definitely special. They were special. Even when he was at Texas, I remember watching him. He was definitely a bucket. So,
but I don't know. Like, I don't know if I could put it over like a 30 and 30 Kevin Love or athletic Blake Griffin who could do everything, like hand the ball, pass the rock, and everything. It's kind of tough.
Blake, underrated passer, man.
Definitely. I don't think people really get a chance to really appreciate Blake in his prime, because Blake in his prime was something special.
At all, bro. Because it's probably because once that whole thing with the Clippers came out, it's like all of the things they accomplished, even though it wasn't a championship, it just got washed away, bro. It's like Chris Paul just destroyed it all.
And Doc Rivers.
You don't hear about that Clippers team no more, bro. You've been hearing about him playing more in Phoenix, even though it's currently now. It's the what's the bias called? The
recency bias.
Recency bias, yeah.
Yeah.
But it is. We all know. We all saw it.
Oh yeah, bro. Like I said, they made the Clippers popular. The Clippers were like I said, they were the laugh. They were the definition of poverty. Like,
that was the best Clipper team ever, in my opinion.
Yeah, they won what? How many 50-win seasons? Like 4 or 5 50-win seasons.
Yeah.
Hold up, Clippers
beat the Lakers all the time. That's when the Lakers were really bad.
Oh yeah, that's true too.
Lakers were bad, and the Clippers were good.
What would you take though? Would you take the Clippers now, or the Clippers, or the Showtime LA Clippers?
Well, I mean, I gotta see all those guys
yeah.
play.
I mean, like on paper, this
on paper. How many times we gonna say on paper on this episode?
It's
true. It's true.
That Clippers team was dangerous back then, though. I ain't gonna lie.
They were entertaining.
They had Jamal Crawford.
That Miami Clipper game every year, bro.
Yeah,
it was big.
It was solid. Yeah, they had
Ron Butler.
They had Caron Butler, JJ Redick, Matt Barnes.
They also had like old ass Grant Hill for a year too. I remember that.
Yep, they had Grant.
That was like the first year CP and them got. CP got there, right?
I think so. Yeah.
They didn't get the one finals. Tough.
They didn't even get to a conference finals. I don't think.
Nope. That blew a 3-1 lead to the Rockets.
Yeah. And then there was 1 year too where they played Memphis. I think they blew a 2-0 lead, if I'm not mistaken. They were up 2-0, and then the Grizzlies came back on them.
Oh, Zach Randolph.
I'll admit, like Zebo was definitely toying with Blake that series.
Mm-hmm.
All right, before we finish the show, man, what we like to do some trivia.
Yes, sir. Let's go. Sorry,
got some trivia questions here.
I got to win this week, man. I got to win
for you guys.
Listen, I can totally cheat.
Do we have a tally? Do we have the tally over the last 2 weeks?
I'm just 2-0. That's all that matters.
I deleted it from last week. I'll admit.
All right. We appreciate the honesty.
Yeah.
That he kept on his phone during Google, right?
Oh my God! Really?
All right, let's get it started here. Who was the first NBA player to test positive for COVID-19? What a weird first question.
Yeah. Touching all the mics.
Mm-hmm.
Go with our Rudy Gobert.
It's crazy. I don't think he's ever. I don't think he's ever gonna recover from that.
Nope.
From that situation.
COVID boy.
Yeah, never, man.
All right, so we're going Rudy. Who's taking tally this time?
Going down in history.
You taking tally, Michael?
Oh, I can. Yeah, I'm sorry. I totally heard you, but I was just in La La Land looking up on Ask Jeeves.
All right.
So I'm sure we all get a point for that first one.
Yeah, we all get a point for that.
If you don't answer, you don't get a point.
What player won All-Star Game MVP, NBA MVP, and NBA Finals MVP in 2000?
Shaq. I ain't gonna lie. Shaq was a monster that year, dog.
Willis Reed did it. Michael Jordan was the other guy to do it as well. Oh, he shared it with Tim Duncan that year. Yeah, Tim Duncan was also a problem. Mm-hmm. What team did Wilt Chamberlain finish his NBA career with? We got the Mavericks, the Bulls, the Sixers, or the Lakers?
You say Lakers.
The Lakers.
Michael? Michael, no
go
camera, Lawson?
Yeah, we can't see your facial expressions.
I want to go Lakers too.
All right.
My phone just told me Siri.
Lakers.
Yeah, you over there cheating.
Yes, sir. No, I'm not.
How many first-round draft picks did the Clippers trade to the Oklahoma City Thunder for Paul George? We got 4. Definitely. Quan, how many do you think?
I got 4.
4.
Well, I guess I will go with 4 as well because I have no idea.
All right, let's see. It was not 4. I'm going to say 5.
Was it 3?
I'm going to say 5.
I don't think it's 5. Okay.
Damn.
So do you get a point for that, CJ, or did you say 4 with us?
I didn't say 4 with y'all.
You didn't say
Yeah,
4.
but you clicked on 4 before you gave us an answer.
But I didn't say 4 though.
He can have that point.
I'll give you that point
He
if you
can have
didn't
that.
won any of them.
Smoke a cigar.
Yeah, he smoked a cigar.
Smoked a cigar.
Smoked a cigar.
Fred Auerbach often do when victory was assured. Yes, he did.
Smoking that pet.
Who was the only player in NBA history to record more than 200 blocks and 200 steals in the same season? I'm gonna say
assuming, I'm gonna say Akeem.
Akeem the Dream.
We got 4-0 for Akeem or Michael.
I'm gonna go Scottie Pippen. No, I'm gonna go Hakeem.
That's what I have to say, bro. What jersey number did Carmelo Anthony wear during his Denver Nuggets career? 15.
Number 2. I was playing 15.
15.
That was easy. What are the Dallas Mavericks named after?
I don't know that one.
Ooh.
I'm gonna say
a novel.
TV show.
I'm gonna say musical.
I'm gonna go with TV show as well.
All right, let's see TV show. Let's see.
Really?
It was. Wow.
Maverick.
Wow.
Well, they even made a movie on it with Mel Gibson.
This is
That sounds more realistic.
57-62. Sheesh.
Have y'all ever seen Maverick the movie?
I have not.
Came out in the 90s. Mel Gibson was the guy. His dad actually was the Maverick from the series. Sorry, guys. A little knowledge there.
All right, well. Hey. Who was the first player to lead the NBA in assists and steals in the same season? I'm gonna go Lenny Wilkins.
I'm gonna go Lenny Wilkins too.
Are y'all saying that because that's the only name you kind of recognize the most?
Yeah.
Mr. Hayward.
I know Fred downtown.
Fred Brown. Yes.
Spencer Hayward.
You know what? I've got to gain a point on CJ, so we'll go with Fred Brown.
Okay, Quan, who you got?
I said Lenny.
Oh, you got Lenny? All right, let's see if it's Fred. It's not Fred. Is it Lenny?
I went with Lenny too.
Not Lenny. Oh.
Hey.
Haywood?
It's got to be Spencer Hayward. Yeah, it's got to be Spencer. No.
It's got to be Watts. It's got to be Watts.
Slick Watts in 1975-76 season. Wow.
Dang it.
Would have never got that right.
He's one of the first NBA players to shave his head. The hell?
Wow, that's a random stat. How many postseason games did the Philadelphia 76ers lose during their 82-83 championship? 1.
Was it 1?
You tell me, man. I don't know.
He said, "You tell me."
We're competing here, man.
We get cutthroat, boys.
We were on teams. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna say 3. I really don't even know.
I'm gonna say 1.
It's such a weird question. I'm gonna go with 1 as well. It's like those 0 foul out game.
Now I know. Oh yeah, this is 1. So they were the 0-1 Lakers before the 0-1 Lakers.
They're one of the great 82-83 Sixers, one of the greatest teams ever. All right, let's go to the second page. 10 more questions before we wrap it up.
Right now, CJ, you're ahead of 1 over me and Quan, and Nick, you are 3 behind.
Of course I am.
Against which team did the Indiana Pacers double their opponent's score?
Ooh.
What? I don't know this one. I guess Portland.
Okay, Nick going with Portland. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna say the Timberwolves. Quan, you got.
I'm gonna say the Timberwolves too.
I'm gonna go with the Nuggets because the Timberwolves back then. I mean, they had Sprewell, right, and Garnett. Oh, I mean, I'm thinking the '90s when the Pacers.
They don't even say a year. So.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like no one knows.
Yeah, I guess it could have been.
I don't know if it's the Reggie Miller team. I don't know if it's the Paul George team.
Paul George, yeah.
But if OKC is on here, then they got to be in this era, maybe.
You would think, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of with you with the Thunder, but I'm gonna go with the Nuggets.
All right, let's see. Is it the Nuggets? It is not. It's at the Timberwolves.
Okay,
it's got to be Portland. It got to be Portland.
Is it Portland?
Yeah.
Blazers, Nick catching up, man. 1998.
That's a 98. Oh,
Wow.
shit.
124 to 59. Sheesh.
Whew.
That was bad.
Oh,
All right. Which player holds the NBA record for most assists in a single game?
John Stockton.
Scott Skiles, 24.
Yeah, Scott. Yeah, it's Scott. Well, no. Rondo had 24 too.
I'm thinking Rondo in the playoffs run, dude.
Y'all tell me, man.
Rondo had.
I'm gonna go Skiles, man.
It might be Scott Skiles, bro.
I'm going Rondo.
You going Rondo?
Yeah.
Michael,
Okay,
where
I'm
you
going to use
man?
it strategic. I am up there.
You're
with
taking a long time to answer that, man. What are you doing?
No. I'm going with you, Scott. So I was explaining it because I'm going to try to stay with you, not fall farther.
Bro, he's cheating, bro. Like he can't see his screen or nothing. That's why he takes so long.
Come on, who you going with?
Scott.
All right. It was 30 assists. I said 24. Sheesh. Yeah.
Oh my god, I should have known that.
Shout out 2K for looking at NBA records back in your my career.
Yeah, like that's the thing too, because like I'm a my career player. I actually ended up breaking the record for most assists.
Yes, sir. How many overtimes did the Rochester Royals and Indianapolis Olympians play on January 6, 1951? I'm gonna say 6.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go with 6 as well.
Quan, who'd you go with?
I'm gonna say 6.
Yo, you just go with everybody.
I'm gonna be the odd one.
It's
I'm
either
the odd
5
one,
or
so I
6.
gotta go with something. I'm gonna go with 5, but I think it's 6. It's just
It's
a weird
5.
one.
It is not.
It's gonna be 6.
Yes, it is. 6 overtimes. All right.
Sorry to catch a pattern here, boys.
Who was the only broadcaster ever ejected from an NBA game? Whoa.
Hot Rod Hundley.
It only makes sense for a hot rod, right?
I don't even know the other two, Mike Rice and Bill, whatever.
Sean.
Only.
All right, I'm gonna go hot rod. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna go Shonley or whatever his name is.
All right, Quan, you going with hot rod too?
Yeah, it makes sense.
All right, it's just Shonley. It is not. Is it hot rod? It is not.
It's Marv. My goodness.
Is it Marv? I don't think it's Marv. Nah.
Mike Rice.
So nobody got that right.
Yeah, nobody got that one.
Now we know Marv got in trouble for some other stuff, but we can't talk about it on here. But
yeah, facts. Who was the first NBA player to shatter a backboard? I'm gonna go Daryl Chocolate Thunder Dawkins.
I'm gonna go Shaq. I'm probably wrong, but oh well.
Michael, who we got, man?
You said that so confident, CJ. I know Shaq wasn't the first one, so I'm gonna go with you with Daryl.
Quan.
Daryl. There had to be somebody before Shaq. Shaq is just a
It is not.
Don't you dare be Shaq.
It was Shaq.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Connors. Wow.
Oh, it's Connor. Okay.
Dunk.
In 46.
He did it with a shot.
I would have never guessed that. Who is the oldest player to score 50-point plus in a game? Jamal Crawford.
Yeah, Jamal Crawford.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jamal.
4 for 4? Yes, it is. Shout out crossover. Man. All right.
Kwame, you're 1 behind CJ. I'm 2. Nick, you're quite a ways.
Which Atlanta Hawk was inducted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame both as a coach and a player?
Lenny Wilkins, yeah.
Wilkins, yeah.
Wow, okay. Cool. Who you got, man?
I got Lenny.
Everybody got Lenny? I don't think Daryl Dawkins was a coach. It was Lenny Wilkins. Yes, sir. And 1,300 victories. Sheesh.
He didn't go to college.
Who, Dominic Wilkins?
I mean, pause. No, I was looking at the next question. My bad.
No. Well, it wasn't Kentucky Wildcats.
There we go. Which team did Kevin Garnett play for before being drafted? Is it Minnesota Timberwolves? He did not go to college.
Nope, he didn't go to college. Farragut Academy.
Farragut Academy. Yes, it was. Let's get it. All right. Which NBA player is featured in a Super Nintendo game called Combat Basketball? I'm
gonna say Rob. Yeah.
Super Nintendo.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm gonna go with Bill as well.
I'm gonna go Lambeer.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Bill.
All right, 4 for 4 for Lambeer. Yes, it was. See, I'm glad I changed my answer.
Yeah, because
Ron was yeah, but that's when I said Nintendo. I was like, all right, yeah, that has to be before Ron. All right, and the last one.
What?
Which NBA All-Star pitched the shutout for the Chicago White Sox?
Dave Boucher.
Oh, so you're kind of confident there. Okay, Nick, who we got?
I don't know. I'm gonna go Oscar. I don't know. Not gonna lie.
Michael, what you thinking, man?
I mean, I know Michael Jordan played for the White Sox minor league team.
In Birmingham Barons.
But he was an outfielder. I don't think Danny Ainge played. So, I mean, Quan said it so confident. I'm going to go with his answer.
Really? You're just going off of how they say it with confidence?
Hey, I mean, it's better of Oscar Robertson.
I mean, I watch baseball, too. Like, I know a lot about baseball and shit too, bro.
Just so you know, there's I'm showing you my cup, but my camera's not on. There's a great show on Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern time. It's called Backstop Banter. They got a great co-host. It's me.
Favorite baseball?
Dave DeBusschere as
Reds.
well. Yes, it was. Wow. NBA All-Star.
Oh, you said the Reds?
Yeah, the Reds.
The Reds. I've always, bro, let me tell you one thing. I've always loved the Reds jerseys since I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
That Griffey sleeveless jersey.
Sleeveless. Yes, sir.
The black one?
Yes, sir. I don't know what you just did, but okay.
I need it. I still need it, bro.
Oh, yeah.
All right, man. That wraps up the end of this show. And Quan, man, we appreciate you stopping by.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's a great time, man. Let us know. Let the people know what you got going on.
You guys can catch me on Twitter at my handle right here, young_Quando. I'm a music artist. I'm a music artist. I have a car page. I'm into a lot of things, pretty much all sports: football, basketball, baseball, hockey, some tennis. Coming up soon on the hard count, I will be doing some FanDuel exercises, like trying to help people try to create different parlays and try to win some money. I'm not sponsored, of course, but this will be at your own discretion. So, but definitely try to tune in eventually, but we'll get it rolling. But thank you guys for having me on here for the first time. I enjoyed it. You guys are hilarious.
Yeah, man, we appreciate you, bro, for stopping by, man.
Of course.
All right, man. Nick and Michael, man, where can the people find you?
Follow me on Twitter at NickAndreATR. As always, very active on NBA Twitter on there. My series, always. My series every Monday and Wednesday still going on. Forgotten Players Part 3. We on week 3 this upcoming week, so definitely check that out.
John Stockton this week.
Nah, John Stockton's not a forgotten player, bro.
Zebo, maybe?
Zebo's not forgotten either. Nah. But yeah, also follow us at CountBucketUSN as well.
Yes, sir. Also, going with that, follow us on any type of podcast that you listen to, Spotify, iHeartRadio. We're on all those things where you can do that. Go like, subscribe, give us those 5 stars that you know we deserve. You can find me on Twitter with MDLawson00, and in there's the link to in my bio for my link tree with all the other stuff. But I will say, Backstop Banter is Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, where we do talk everything baseball with my co-host Anthony Conover, who's just made a comment there about the trivia.
Sir, I'm it.
Sir, Connie was good, man. Yes, sir. Linktree.com/CJames9. You can find everything I got going on with the Patriots, Knicks, hard count every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern with Anthony Conover. I also, again, Guard Up Podcast at Guard Up Pod on IG, and Count the Bucket here every Sunday, 9:30 Eastern. Talking about everything in the NBA. Thank you guys for this episode, man. We will catch you guys next week.
Deuces.
Have a good one.
Is there